Okay, so when we last left, you guys were jumping back towards
No, I
Colonial
think we were
Prime.
doing R&R.
Yep, and you got there. You were downtime. In that time, I believe, let's just say you had a meeting, and Sergeant Teddy can bring forth his idea at this meeting.
Oh, yes.
Hmm.
Um, yes. So, I was thinking that the uh, the corporation wanted us to bring back a sample, which we've decided we're absolutely not going to do because it's a dumb idea. And why
Mm-hmm.
would we want to give that to a corporation or really anybody? But in the interest of saving all humanity, I think we might could convince Keller to take his research data and send it back to the Imperium. Um, and then, we kind of, I think we've done everyone a good turn in that we've got an ally over here that's fighting the aliens, and can give a heads up to the Imperium should things really start to get bad. Um, but that was just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that we necessarily want to do that ourselves. Maybe we do, but in lieu of bringing um, a sample or something like that, maybe we could talk Keller into sending his research data and a scientist. Um, and if he decides to send it with us when we go back, that'd be fine. Or he could, send somebody ahead. Although it
Mm-hmm.
takes a while to get there, I think. But nonetheless, just a thought.
No, that's all cool. So how much downtime do you guys want?
How much downtime does 40 mega credits buy you?
Okay, you're gonna go
That's
on
why we
Lilith for a
sold our land
while.
to
Okay.
them.
So is it Lilith you want to go to?
I think that's the only place we got. Because they want us to stay away from the chiller.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lilith is the only other place that's got
I think I want to.
atmosphere.
I think I want to stay away from Nephchilla.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nephchillians are.
So how much downtime do you guys want to take? Do you want to take a
At least
week,
a
2 weeks, a
fortnight.
month, 2 months? How long?
Yeah, I'm thinking 2 weeks. I mean, do we really? Is there something we want to do in that time with our downtime? I mean, do we need to train in something or?
No, just
Yeah.
normal training can carry on. You're just having a lot of downtime. Probably by the end of 2 weeks, you're going to get a little bit itchy, waiting to do something.
We're probably going to need millionaire training. A bank is where people put their, or I've heard a bank is where people put their money that hasn't been properly invested.
Hmm. Okay, so you guys, I'll take it that you guys have gone to Lilith for some R&R. You spent some time in various places, brothels, bars, gambling halls, all the usual spots um, for the last 2 weeks.
Till we're completely bored and disgusted with ourselves
Yep.
and ready to
Um,
get back to some useful work so that we can bear the existential angst of it,
of
our
existence.
horrid existence.
Okay,
Yeah, what he
so
said.
yeah. So if you guys could take off 6% of your 40 million credits, that's how much you managed to blow in those 2 weeks. So you've lived the high life. The high life.
So is it 40 million total?
40
Is
million
that right?
total. Yep, so just take 6% off 40 million total.
Okay. Well,
That's minus
I'm not the
2.4
accountant.
million.
I'm
You
not
Oh,
have...
who
the
was?
accountant.
I
You,
thought you were the accountant.
No,
No,
you
I'm not the accountant on this trip.
Oh
you work
boy.
here.
okay.
Okay. So times. So it's
So,
like times 94.
yeah, so for that, I'm going to say you also happen to have a very nice looking
Just
building
get a picture.
overlooking some lake somewhere. You know, high up in the hills and the mountains and the trees, and it's one of those over the edge of a rock face sort of suspended on nothing sort of things. You managed to buy one, so you've got a little place, a little quiet place on Lilith should you need it.
Did we
Um,
buy it?
yeah, you bought it out of that money and spent a
We,
whole lot and lost a whole lot.
we got it cheap from
Another.
an ex tyrant.
That's the one.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's probably got its own
funny
like
those things.
sort of land-based ship's locker and armory and all sorts of bits and pieces somewhere in it. But I'm going to let you guys outfit if you need to. It's like a second home away from home sort of thing.
Well, I'd say
Um,
it's actually our only home at the moment.
yeah, well, then the ship. Yeah. Um, what I'm going to ask you all to do is to, and I'll roll for Jerry, roll 2d6 and add a, but where's Jerry's character? Add, oh gosh, where is he? It's a +1. For your education, if you've got a high education, add a bonus to it. So, um, 10, 11 gives you +1, 12, 13, 14 gives you +2, that sort of thing.
No bonus.
Okay, so Samuel. Cool. So Samuel will come back as you're sort of getting on board the ship, and you're all sort of just talking, and wherever Samuel had got to, he's picked up a couple of stories that may be profitable to you or not. So, couple of thus stories that he's come back with. One is in a little place called Levantha 9, which is right over here, if you can see where I've just pinged. And it's
Got a shift thing.
yeah, it's a mining, it's on a water world, but it mines all sorts of stuff. And according to information he's got, a lot of it was automated. So if it's continued, it's probably bursting to the gills with a whole lot of processed gold and a whole lot of processed all those other lovely expensive minerals. Um, so it's a place, should you decide to go to, you've got a great possibility of getting a whole lot of really free stuff should you want to go there. Another place is GEOACKER, which is way over here. And there's an interesting story that goes with GEOACKER, is that apparently a story came to him that there are some people who have some sort of natural immunity to this infestation or this infection, whatever you want to call it. You sort of got the idea that these whatever creatures they are, they sort of infiltrate and then they infect people and turn them into these creatures, so to speak. So they're creating their own army with the produce that is the materials that's there. But apparently there's a group of people who seem to be immune to this process in GEOACKER. Yeah. So just two little possible extra jobs for you should you want to do it.
Well, so one is a research job, and the other one is a heist,
Mm-hmm.
in essence.
Now, this is all in the danger zone behind the red line, and what does that mean? That human life is still going on there, or are people rebuilding, or what are they doing?
Well, that's the thing, you don't know.
No.
This is all behind the enemy lines, so you really have no idea as to what's going on there.
Well, I think we could
I,
I think we could research the rumor about GeoAcker and um, see if that could be very valuable to the resistance if it pans out. But we'd have to research the nature of the rumor, where it came from, and who's heard of it.
Hmm. Yep.
um, and Levantas is actually closer.
Levantar, yeah,
Yeah,
nine,
Levantar 9. So,
Levantar,
um,
Levantar.
Levantar 9, um, you can pretty quickly, easily look up the stats on that one. Supposedly had a C-star port. Um, it was a size 5 planet with a type 6 atmosphere, 90% liquid water, the other 10% ice. Population there was 5, and it was a corporation with a supposedly 0 law level and a tech level of 9 with a gas giant. Population was close to 100,000.
And so presumably the population is now dead or transformed.
Not really sure about that, but
Well, we're assuming,
yeah,
um, and that and the machines are just continuing to stack away all
that
this
is the assumption, that these machines have
golden
continued,
stuff.
and if they've continued,
So
they'll be like straining to keep any of it in keep it.
Okay. Uh, well, all right. I guess we inform the captain of all this information,
Yep.
and presumably we would need to do some research before we go to either place,
Mhm.
and certainly for the mine, we want to find out, what kind of machines they had, who made the robots, what kind of, you know, what planet were they produced on? Do we know anything about control mechanisms and turning them off, um, or gaining access? Because presumably they have security robots as well.
Yep.
Um,
They would.
so, um, and then the other place, I guess we would just
GeoAcre.
research what we know about those, and they're aliens there, right? They're not like human beings.
Well, as far as you're aware, there's not a
Or
hell
are
of a
they
lot
a
to know.
hybrid human being? Or not hybrid, but you know what I mean,
Yep.
cousin. Um,
That it's
evolutionary deviation.
those things.
Yeah. Um, so I think uh, so. Lance is not the computer guy.
No, that is the
Um,
captain.
is the captain the computer guy?
Hmm.
He can be, but I think we usually get the other guy to do it. Forgotten his name.
Gary's character
No,
or
not
Jerry's
Jerry.
character?
Not Jerry's character. I
Oh
forgot the
yeah,
name.
one of the other two players. Yeah.
Fuck. Negan, I think it is.
Negan.
Negan.
that was one of them. Yeah.
Okay,
If it's not
and
Negan, it was the other guy.
yep, in a second, I'll have a look for you for Negan. Computer 0. Nope, not Negan.
Jerry's the engineer,
No,
Yep.
it's not
uh,
Jerry. Um,
and
the
Lance is the combat guy. Let's see what he's got.
who's the other combat guy?
He's got
Dylan.
computer zero.
Dylan. Devon.
Devon.
Devon, who's got no one on him at the moment.
Uh, and then Dane is the surgeon, and he has
He's
computer
John's
zero.
character at the moment.
But oh
Okay.
yeah, but I got
So I've just given you Sid Nagan, and I've given Devon back to you, Glenn, just for the moment.
Okay. You know, we ought to do. We ought to. We ought to put together a spreadsheet
Mm-hmm.
fucking crew
that has all the
managers.
characters and their three, you know, the three stats that they use technically
Aye,
all the
aye.
time. You know,
Yeah, good idea.
or skills. I mean,
Although yeah, I got computers, so do I need to roll computer skill?
If you wish. What are you trying to find out?
I don't know.
Because it would be good to know what you're trying to find out.
Oh, I'm
well,
still kind of waking up. So.
Yeah.
geez, what time is it there, Sid?
Well, it's only like it's 11 a.m.
About
but I was
11.
up late last night,
Ah,
Friday night.
right. So, you know, can you see on the map? I've kind of written some little short notes on
Yep.
the map.
Automated mine, natural immunity. Yep, yep.
So can you see those two places, Sid?
Yeah, yep, got him.
All right. Uh, so do we want to be rich, or do we want to serve humanity, or do we want to serve humanity first and then become rich? Do you want to become rich and then serve humanity? Do we want to blow the whole thing off
Mm,
and open an ice cream stand?
sounds good to
Uh,
me.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, we can just live here on this fucking new floating house.
I mean, we got 40 million credits. I mean, we could really kind of just blow the whole thing off. Um,
What are the
and
locals like here? How many people are on
Lilith,
the planet?
it's only a small little place. Hang on a second, I'll
So
find
we're
the
trying to create like a private army.
Netchivan. Here we go. Netchivan, Lilith. Where are we?
that's one. Starting a private army is a good way
Yep.
to lose your money
Okay,
fast.
yep. East Starport.
Yeah, but we have a lot of
Size
people
6,
and
5
war.
atmosphere, 3 water. Population is getting close to 8 million people. Type 3 government, Type 4 level, law level, and A tech level with a gas giant.
Shit, I wouldn't mind becoming a dictator of this place. But
I think you'd have a hard time doing
yeah,
it with
especially
an
with
A-tech.
fucking colonials.
Yeah. Um,
Uh,
I,
yeah, let's go.
I think an ice cream stand would be much easier.
Let's go save humanity.
All
Okay.
right. So see what you can find out about the aliens or the population first.
Of which city? This city or
No, of the planet, the
GeoACKER.
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 the one that's furthest away?
Yeah.
I'm rolling. Failed.
Okay.
Well, looks like we're gonna strike it
Yep.
rich. Oh my God! You rolled a 2. Well, that obviously you have destroyed the planet and everybody on it that were
Yep.
previously immune to the aliens. They're now dust. They're now space dust.
That's it.
Alright.
I
Yep.
hope you feel good about yourself, Sid.
Oh, I'm kind of woozy at the moment, so
So,
I'm sure
so
when I feel
put it,
better.
yeah.
That's what happens when you get. That's what happens when you're hungover and get on the computer. A whole planet and the total population
Explodes.
is utterly destroyed.
Alright,
Yeah.
alright, alright. Quit shaming me, alright?
Right. Okay. So,
It's not like it's the first planet I've destroyed.
yeah, come on.
You got over the last one. It was okay.
I
Yeah.
think the last one was a complete star.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
remember that, yeah.
So leave me alone.
Okay, so, GeoACKER. Does the navigator want to try to bring up any old data on GeoAcker?
I'm telling you, what's his name? Fucking someone. Devon. Devon's got computer. He's got computer too.
Okay, that would be you, Glenn.
There's Devin. Oh yeah, he's got computer too. And he looks like a badass.
Mm-hmm.
How does he get computer too? And he looks like a badass. It's all.
It was the way we did our
All right,
roles.
Devin, rummages in his pack, pulls out the horn rim glasses, and starts typing away
Okay.
on the computer. Let's see. So he's +2. What's his intelligence? Are we given any bonus for intelligence?
No. Only getting it bonuses in extreme occasions.
Boy, he's got a C education.
He's highly educated. And yet he still chose to become a mercenary.
He must have gone to public school or something.
Something.
Ooh, I can pop out the die roller. I didn't know I could do that. That's cool. Alright. 11.
Okay. Radio GeoAcker. According to the census, a long time ago, it had a sea starport, size 6 planet, type 9 atmosphere, which means it was dense and tainted. So it wasn't the best type of planet to be on. 60% water. Its population was close to 500,000, a type 5. Its government type was a feudal technocracy, a type 5. A law level of only 3, which makes everyone very happy, but a tech level of only 7. So that sort of puts it around miniaturized electronics, that sort of stuff. It supposedly had a scout base. It primarily was an agricultural, non-industrial world. So,
Okay.
no gas giant, but water on planet. And it's right in the middle of the... Both of them are right in the middle of a whole lot of shit.
Alright. Well, so I think maybe Dane will go out to the local chemistry supply house and get lots of, or medical supply house, and get lots of sample kits and things like that you need to do research. And we'll make sure our...
Are you talking about like geological sample kits? Working out like acidity, alkalinity, chemical compound. Are you talking that sort of stuff?
Yeah, that and just medical kits.
And medical kits?
Presumably it's a genetic thing rather... Well, no. It wouldn't be a genetic thing. It'd be something having to do with the planet, right?
Who knows? Who knows?
Otherwise they'd eat up... The aliens would eat up all the food and everybody would starve. Even if they were physically immune, everything else would go kaput. So yeah, we're just going to get a broad spectrum of survey equipment.
Okay, so 5,000, but hey, you got millions.
Tacoma was in the scouts, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Take Tacoma with him, and we'll get him. I mean, scouts do survey missions.
Well, the ship's got a whole lot of sensors built in, and he's got his own skill to be able to work some of that magic. But
so long as I don't roll a 2 again.
Yep. So we're just going to say it's another 5,000 basically to buy all those sort of kits. How many medical kits do you want?
As much as we can fit.
I mean, we can get regular med kits. I was at that point. I was really speaking more of just in terms of like taking, swabs to get DNA and blood samples.
Oh, yep, okay. He's got all that. He's got all that in his lab, so that's not a problem.
Well, we'll make sure we're good and stocked up so we can get plenty of samples.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's all cool. And he has already had some experience working with it, so yeah. But the only
yeah,
thing he'd want to do would be to just doubly make sure that the med bay is like really surrounded by a lot of containment equipment if it got contaminated.
right. So, I'll talk to the mechanic about doing that, and we'll put that together.
Okay. So this is going to take another 2 weeks, and I'll let Jerry do his little roll. And it's done. It's installed.
All right. And we want to make sure that we're not going to get infected just because they're immune doesn't mean they're not
Yep.
creating
Basically,
it.
yep. Basically, what happens is that he's got the top of the line. He can get filters, all that sort of stuff. Plus, also the med bay, should it become infected, it will be saturated by a combination of various hideous gases and explosive flammable stuff, so it'll basically burn anything to a cinder that's in there.
Well, but we already know what kills it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's the acid. Oh, and that's the other thing is um, I'll make some. What did we use before? We used
Dane
something
was
that
trying to
saves
make
you all.
a glass gun.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So probably in the 2 weeks vacation, he's going to spend some time with either someone in the crew who's competent at engineering or mechanics,
That'd be Teddy.
and we'll draw up some plans and maybe get some stuff made on the planet for this.
Uh-huh.
In case we need to clean something or kill something. Um, we'll make.
Radio. So
And I don't know exactly what it was. You say glass gun.
yeah, he's got a lot more material to work with, so he can have some acid resistant or retardant materials that aren't necessarily glass anymore.
Right.
Glass
Oh,
was the
that
most
doesn't look
easily
glass.
accessible
Yeah.
one that he could do in space.
Right.
It
Right.
was simple silicon melted down, whereas he didn't have anything fancy to print anything special off.
Right. Okay.
So, I'll need a Dane to make his medical roll, please.
Oh, dang.
Plus
I need
3,
a
I
key
believe.
plus 3. Yeah. Yeah. 3. All right. And no bonus.
No, he's...
He doesn't have a high intelligence or education anyway. So, all right. 2d6 plus 3. Looks like a big
Okay,
10.
that's a plus 1 on Teddy's mechanical. To make these mechanical guns. So they're very, very simple. They just work through sort of like a pressure system. You've got a small um, little container of compressed gas that you fire, and it just releases the compressed air, which then shoots out a squirt of this acid. That's it. It's very basic. So it doesn't have a great
All right.
range, but it'll be effective.
All right. So Teddy has already a plus 1. So with Dane's plus 1, that'll be a plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
And in lieu of getting all sorts of social diseases, that's what they're going to do for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, and they come up with a huge belly flop.
Okay.
So the next 2 weeks you're working on stuff, because it's going to take another 2 weeks to get the ship fitted out. So you've got 2 more weeks where you go. Same thing
All
again.
right. Let's
Dane
try again and
rolls.
maybe roll a decent number. There you go, a 10.
Okay, that's Dane's, and yours, please, with another plus 1.
Oh, I thought that was.
Yeah.
There you go.
Whoa. Okay. So you're gonna treat this weapon like a... Let me have a look. Yep, a body pistol.
Okay.
Except of course that it has +2s on nothing, jack, mesh, cloth, reflect, um, and then it goes to the -2 on ablat and -7 on combat, which of course would have the necessary material in it to combat that sort of attack anyway. So +2s and then a -2, -7 at the end. So she's only good out to I think it's short range. Close and short you get a bonus, at medium you get a -6 to hit with one of these things.
All right.
Which is reasonable given what it is. Yep, and she'll
So
have 10 charges, that's it.
So we're just making one. Is that
Well,
right?
you can print out for as many as you want,
Okay.
because they're just printed.
We'll make one for everyone.
Okay, how many gas cylinders, how many cylinders of acid, because they're just basically plugged in on one on each side of the trigger.
7.
7 each, okay. 7 times whatever, I can't remember that is, there's about 7 people, 40 to 50. Okay, let's say you spent 50,000 on this particular project.
Cheap at twice the price.
Yep, so you've got one of these little acid guns each, and they've each got 70 rounds, basically. Well, 7 air canisters, 7 acid canisters. Each one does just 10 shots, the gas and the acid together.
Right. Okay. So, as the GM, I think you're the only one who can create handouts. So, at your
Yeah.
convenience, you might want to just do a quick, simple handout and just type up what you told me
Yep,
before.
I'll
I mean,
do that. Yep.
I can remember it for one game, but after that,
Yep, that's easy.
it's going to get a little hazy.
Mm-hmm.
It just wouldn't hurt to have notes.
Yep.
Okay. Uh, what else? What do you think, John? Pierre? Sid?
Um,
Well, I don't know. Trade goods. How far backwards are these guys? We know the old stats.
Glass beads.
Yeah, but no idea of the new situation.
Yeah.
Glass beads and axes.
So what do we know about these guys?
Which ones?
The
GEOACKER?
geophobes. Yeah, geohackers.
They were a agricultural, non-industrial planet. Um,
Tech level 7.
Tech level 7.
And what's the mission? We're
So if you're
dropping something off?
no, we're going to do research.
Oh.
So they appear to be immune, or rumor has it that they are immune to the aliens, which means that their food supply, the planet itself, the aliens couldn't get a foothold.
So it's time to dissect whatever these aliens are. Good.
Well, and yeah, so if we can figure out how they managed to be immune, it may give us a leg up on understanding how we can defeat the aliens or frustrate
Mm-hmm.
their goals.
Yeah, I mean, do we really want to go to the other planet with the, pre-stacked gold and precious, transition metal plates all stacked up in, mile high for us? Do we really want to go there and just collect it? It's boring. Let's do something more humanitarian.
I have a feeling it's not going to be boring, but yeah.
We get to chop up little aliens.
Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him.
Sorry, I'm just
well,
started on a flight
the
path.
planet that we're on now is tech level A.
Mm-hmm.
So farm tech might be useful for them. I don't know. Um, but we don't exactly have a cargo hold.
Alright, so we need to do about
And
it.
we got a bunch of popsicle marines that we've got on ice, right?
No, they're back at Colonial Prime, which is one
We let them.
parsec,
They
yeah,
did their
one
mission.
parsec away from you, yeah.
They did their mission and they're back home. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have presumably they also took back their cold berths, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do we have enough cold berths for everybody in the crew
Nope.
on the ship?
Nope. The ship.
We do not.
I can't remember exactly how much the ship has.
Don't have a handout for the hop ship.
No, don't have a handout for
That
the
we
hop
should
ship.
have.
That will be in the Google. I had that open. Why is that not open?
Not the Dropbox, Google Drive.
They in Google Plus. There it is. Let me have a look. Bring it up. Let's have a look. Cold berths. Cold berths.
I guess the other
It
thing.
has exactly 0.
Oh.
You got to remember, it jumps 10 at a time. So why would you need one? Apart from the fact that if you did a miss jump, you'd be really, 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 really screwed.
Yeah. If we misjumped, or if somebody got really badly hurt,
Mm-hmm.
or infected, or something weird like that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Captain Tacoma? I don't know if we've got room for it or not. I mean, what kind of...
You can take it out of the cargo bay.
Yeah.
I mean, how much cargo space do we have?
I think we've only got like 4 ton or something like that.
No, you had quite a bit, but it's coming down with all the bits you want to add on. I think it's something like 20 ton.
We're not going to be doing much trading. We might as well put it in.
Okay, so an emergency low berth. So that's all you're wanting, just emergency low berth. You don't want the full.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think you get 3 emergency low berths per half ton, because they are just emergency. So 2 of those gives you 6, and I think that's 2 mega credits.
We got 6 ton cargo space.
Easy.
Yeah, so we could use 1 ton and get 6 cold berths. I think that's plenty, don't you?
Oh no, that was the last ship. That's not this ship.
No, the ship has around about 20 ton of cargo. Sharp tooth.
Oh, it does. Oh, we have a lot of cargo space.
Mm-hmm.
So really, all right. So potentially we could buy up some farm equipment if they had it.
Mm-hmm.
We could buy up farm equipment. We could buy up pharmaceuticals. I mean, if you're a Tech 7 on an agricultural world, what else do you need?
You're flying into the middle of a war zone.
Oh, we got guns.
Well, so we could.
Sorry.
You want to send Nagin out to see
Like,
if he can find anything for you, because he's the guy that would be able to do any of that. Who's Tacoma? You're going to have to see whether he's got broker or anything like that, please, because I can't remember if he does or not.
I don't think he has anything. I've seen anything like that. He's got administration.
Admin, okay. Not quite what we were looking for, but okay, page.
I think Jerry's guy got something like that.
Yeah,
Rog-
Samuel Rogers. I think I have access to his sheet.
Okay, he's got no admin, no bribery.
No streetwise.
He's got carousing.
Tannery, mech. He's got carousing somewhere. No streetwise. He's got
Oh,
carousing,
here we
that's
go.
it. And communications. Carousing ain't going to help you in a trade situation. Admin
Nope.
may. If I remember my rules rightly. Admin, bribery and admin may use. Yep. So there you go. Admin skill can be used as a DM. When you're trying to go for how much it costs, but I've got to roll to see randomly what three things are available. Here we go. So while you're looking, some textiles.
Okay.
I need to roll that one again. Oh no, I'm taking the numbers together, aren't I? Sorry, we'll start again. Machine tools is the first one. Radioactives, the second one. Oh, Jerry would be boiling over by now. And grain is the last one.
Well, agricultural world probably don't need grain. Machine tools might be useful.
Mm-hmm.
How many tons of machine tools? You said textiles, machine tools, and grain?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep. There are 3 tons of machine tools. Each ton is going to be costing 750 credits a pop.
That's cheap. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So where you got the money, so that's, I don't know, 3 lots of 750 credits. And when you get to resell, that's when you apply his admin. Okay. Oh, sorry, no, there's 15 tons of that, not 3, 15 tons, if you want the whole lot.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah, let's get the whole lot. I mean, why not?
Okay.
They don't have any. They don't have any weapons for sale.
Nope, that's all he could find.
All right. So grain and textiles was the other 2 things, right?
Grain and radioactives.
I'm not sure what radioactives are for what.
Radioactives would be the heavy metals, stuff that's required for various construction. I don't think it's like, we're not talking about a ton of plutonium or anything like that, uranium, but it's the heavy metals that are required for various processes, which is why they get such a huge price.
I guess it could be weaponized.
Yeah.
But do we really want to take radioactives to I don't know, Tacoma, what do you think? I mean, radioactives are really expensive.
Yeah, but they changed. It's been noted that they've been able to change these aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we probably.
They probably
Yeah,
feed
my
off them more than anything.
They do. Yeah, I think we determined that. So I think maybe that's not so great.
Like Steve just said that we're entering a war zone. We're probably entering in a graveyard.
It's possible.
Well, so the radioactives. What's our bonus to resale for an agricultural, non-industrial location?
Minus. No minuses, no pluses.
So it's just straight up.
+1 because you've got the admin +1 on your side.
Right, but the machine tools we get a bonus for.
Machine tools. If A is agricultural, yes it is. +1 from agricultural. Non-industrial is +3.
Aha. So we're at +4 would be +5 with admin.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think yeah.
So the minimum you're going to get
I think
back
we
is
do that.
100%. That's what it works out
Right.
to be. So it's a no loss situation, provided you can find someone to buy it from you.
All right. Well, with that, I think we're ready to go, unless somebody else has any other ideas of what we need to.
Okay, so it's been a month basically. You've built some acid guns. You've got some. You've strengthened your containment unit in the med bay. You've added 2 batches of emergency load berths. That's 6 of them. And you have put 15 ton of machine parts into your cargo bay.
And 6 cold berths.
Mm-hmm. And now you just got to work out how you want to get there.
And if John was wanting to play another character, we could take on another character.
Are there only 5 of you?
4 of us.
Yeah, but there's 5 players. There's 6 players already in the group, I think.
Okay. All right.
Hang on. There's more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of you on board ship already.
And how much room do we have to sleep?
I think we're at the limit, if not one more.
So this ship here has 1, 2,
So I know
3,
some of us are double.
4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you're at max right now.
All right. Well, okay. Well, it doesn't sound like John's really ready to put in a new character at this point, anyway. So we won't worry.
I'm working on some stuff.
Okay. You got some kind of weirdo.
Can we
You got
add
some kind of
extensions
weirdo
to
thing
the
you
ship?
want to do. Maybe John's next character will like breathe vacuum, and we won't have to worry about getting a bed for him. I don't know.
Well, we could convert like what, a ton of the cargo space?
It's about time now.
What do you mean about it's about time now?
Yeah, and I mean we don't want to do that until John gets this other character that he's put together. So yeah, let's go ahead and go. Because I don't think John's ready for whatever weirdness he has up his sleeve. Okay, well, we load up with plenty of pineapples and breadfruit and head out.
A
Oh
lot
yeah.
of citrus.
And yeah, citrus and dry tack biscuits.
Because you need citrus.
And you know, dried beef with lots of pepper sauce and stuff like that.
Because that
Beef
works.
jerky. And you know, back issues of Playboy or whatever.
Coffee. Lots of coffee.
And coffee. And barrels of water.
Or the hyper genetically modified coffee.
Well, there you go. Okay. So you guys blast off to smithereens. I mean, you blast off into space.
Now, there's a green line on the map. Is that like a planned itinerary?
I believe so.
I was building a flight path just to show off, but I had something organized today and I forgot about it, so I'm gonna have to go soon.
Okay. So Mallory to Kiamankis, Kiamankis to I can't quite see. To GEOACKER.
Well, Makar is next to. Now, which one did you intend to land on?
Any of those two would be fine.
Choice.
Got a range of 10 though, eh?
Any of those two Macas, or what the fuck is that called?
Yeah, Macus. Yeah,
Navic.
Keomancetus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any of those would put us in the 10 range jump.
yeah, Macus would be okay though. Lankaran, Macus. Let's have a look. Have I got that here?
Can we do some computer work to see if we know anything about either of those two places?
Yeah, I'm trying to find them right now.
Also, what was up with Mallory? Does the Colonial Fleet have that?
They do.
Alright, good, because yeah, that'll probably be our port of call
Mm-hmm.
from now on to get into the black. Or what are we calling this little red zone?
The red zone.
The
I
red
think
zone.
the red zone's quite a good number for it.
We've got to come up with
So
a better name for it.
we are at Lilith.
Yes, you are. Well, yep, you are, Lilith.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where the green line starts. But yeah. Alright, guys. I'm gonna go. Catch you.
Okay.
Hopefully in like an hour or so.
All good, all good.
Right.
Really? Okay.
Hopefully by then I'll have all my bits ready. So just give me a second, gentlemen. I've got to find the right subsector. So you're jumping into Lankaran, which is cool. So you're heading for, is it Keomachus or are you heading for Macus?
We're in Mallory, okay?
Oh, Mallory's fine.
We were going to look on the computer and see what they were like.
Yeah. Well, remember, this is all pre-war stuff, so who knows? Keomachus had supposedly had 4 billion people. Type D starport, size 2 planet. Supposedly had a navy and a scout base, whereas Macus was a type E starport. Keomachus does not have a gas giant, whereas Macus does. Macus is a size 5 planet, 5 atmosphere, 4 water level. Had supposedly a small cohort of around about 700 people on it. Yeah, very low law level. Very low, yeah, 1, low tech level 2. It had an orbital navy base and a scout base, so not quite sure what that's about, Macus. Whether there's stuff still there. Whereas Keomachus had, as I said, high population, some sort of dictatorship, type A law level, 7 technology, navy and a scout base, but no gas giant. You'd have to land on Keomachus to get your refueling, whereas you could go to a gas giant at Macus to refuel.
So yeah, we want to go to Macus.
Okay.
Yeah, big time.
All good.
All right, so we're going to Mallory and then Macus, right?
Radio. So we don't have Jerry here. So guess what? Where are we? Okay, so Pierre, you're rolling for the ship, please. Oh, has anyone got Tacoma?
I got Tacoma.
Okay, you're making the piloting roll. So I need a roll from Jerry, please, for the he's got, I think, 3 in his spaceship engineering thing. From Pierre.
Engineering 2, yeah.
2,
Okay,
sorry,
it's
beg your
2.
pardon. 2.
Weird.
Yep. Get the engines
Okay,
flipped over.
whoops.
And then once that's done, Glenn, if you can give me Tacoma's piloting to make sure the ship doesn't blow up.
Alright.
Which is always a good one, but we'll just get the engines online first. So when you're ready, Pierre.
Yeah, sorry, my couldn't change screens to the chat box.
Yep, that's alright. That's okay. Cool. Yep. Like the board is all green. You're ready to flip the switch to blow yourselves up. Where you go from Lilith to Mal. Beautiful. Okay, you spend a week in Hop Space. You come out in Mallory. You give off your old codes. They seem to be enough to get you to the gas giant. Where I'll need to come in to do a piloting roll, please.
Okay, I don't understand the old codes. What is that?
Well, remember, Mallory is held by the colonial forces.
Oh, so our transponder, we're putting out old codes.
Yep, and the codes to let you stay in system safely without being shot out of the sky.
Right, because we're outside the perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so rolling a piloting roll.
Yep, just to get there to do the what you need to do. Yep. Okay, Will, we need one from Samuel to check the engines over. Hopefully there's no problems.
So, Pierre?
Yep, he's doing it. He's just
Okay, sorry.
having a
What
juggle
am I
things.
supposed to roll?
The engineering roll for...
Oh, again. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, same thing. Oops. Okay. I am okay. Sam, engineering. Ooh.
Okay. Well, awesome. He's not sure, but he's not, you know, at your decision, Captain.
I'm sorry, I missed something there.
He's reporting that the engines don't show any problem, but he's not 100% certain that they're okay. Nothing on the board's lighting up, but he's just got a feeling.
Okay, well, if he says he's got a feeling, I I will trust that he needs to check those again because we've got nothing but time.
Do you now? Okay, so this is where things are going to get a little interesting. It's going to take him 4 hours to overhaul just to make sure things are all okay. And okay, in the third hour, Will gets a message from the radio. There's a query coming in from control. They want to verify you are who you are, and they've sent out a hot ship out after you.
Okay, well.
So he can either do a check now with some minuses, or you can wait the hour and hope to get out of there without being shot at. What do you want to do?
What are we worried about?
Why would we be shot at? They want to verify we are who we are.
Mm-hmm.
They're
going to board you.
Are the
This is not a mission that's been cleared by the colonial forces, guys.
Oh, right, yeah.
This is your own little mission.
Okay. Still not sure why I should be worried.
Okay. Because you're in uncontrolled space, they tend to shoot before they do anything else, just to be safe.
Well, all right. Well, we'll wait 4 hours and we'll go ahead and head. I mean, we got to go to the gas giant to fuel up, right?
You've done that, yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So all you're doing is you're waiting for Samuel to have a look at the engines and just say, yeah or nay.
So another
right.
go.
Yeah, we'll we'll move off so they're not going to be able to stop us.
If they get to you in time, they may. So Will, I need a sensor sweep, please.
Of course you do.
Yeah, well, when you're running 3 characters it becomes a bit harder. Okay, righto, Will. Give me a second. According to Will's quick calculations, it's going to be close, but Samuel should give you about, he should be able to reach his conclusion about 10 minutes before they arrive on scene.
Okay.
So we can take off 10 minutes
So
before they get here.
we can jump before they get here. Is that
Hopefully,
the short note?
but it's very close.
Okay. Well, if he doesn't, well, in essence, what he's saying is that he can put it together now and we can jump now, or he can finish what he's doing, put it together, and we can jump in an hour.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Nice guy right on the gas giant. I'll write it out.
Okay. I think we put it all together now.
Yep.
And go ahead and jump.
Okay, brilliant. Give
take our
Samuel a roll,
minuses.
please. Yep. -1.
Samuel to roll.
Yep.
4.
Sorry.
Sorry, I know you've got several characters to look after.
Yeah, it's a piloting roll this time.
Engineering.
What is it? Engineering. Still engineering. Okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry. No, it's
So cool. Big number needed.
actually, to avoid confusion, I'll do this. There we go.
That's a pretty good number. Okay. Rodeo, you ready to pop? Or hop?
Alright. So
Piloting
we need
roll?
a navigation roll.
No, just a piloting roll.
Oh, just a pilot. We don't need an
Yep.
extra roll this time. Okay.
It's only when you get lost you need a navigation roll.
Alright.
He's just on the engineering.
8.
Yep. And boom, you're in hop space again, heading towards Macus. Now,
Right.
doing anything while you're heading there, you're crossing the border. Is there anything else you want to take into
we do
consideration?
maintenance on the engines for one thing.
You can only do so much while they're actually in use.
Well, okay.
Yep. But it's okay. You can do that. You can keep watching them. So, give me a roll for Samuel.
Here.
Here. It keeps them turning over. Anything else?
Right. Just do our normal maintenance on the ship.
Okay.
Um,
Yep.
I was in some kind of long-term training thing.
Yep.
I mean, Will was.
Yep. That doesn't happen for a wee bit. Takes a year or something for it to come through.
Yeah, so other than that, everybody does what they normally do.
Rightio. So, having a look at Macus by the old sensors and all that. Census, I should say. Macus has 3 gas giants. Presumably you pointed it to the outer one. Or are you going somewhere else?
We're going to go to the outer one.
Yep. Okay, it's a smaller one. So you come in, boom, sensor sweep please. I take it everyone's in their turrets and whatnots.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. And we're doing some, yeah.
Okay. Apart from a very faint automated signal, which gives you some astrogation courses to take, and they seem to be automated, as I said, there is no other electronic activity in system. There's no entertainment broadcast or anything else, emergency broadcast, military broadcast of any sort. There seems to be something that's been left on.
Okay.
Okay. Nice and quiet.
Mhm.
We will note that information and gas
Mhm.
up
Okay, polishing
and
roll, please.
not be
Okay.
distracted.
Okay. So,
Piling.
yep, piling roll, and I'll need another engineering roll from Samuel.
Right.
Ooh.
Okay. I do like a good. Okay. Well, the engine's okay, but boy, is he going to be pissed off having to repair. I've got to find the location. Mm. Okay. You've managed to hit something in the atmosphere because it's created another hull decompression in the cargo bay.
Okay. All right. Well, Sergeant Lance goes to work on that, I guess.
Mechanic roll. Away you go.
Oh, what's his mechanic? Is it just
One.
one? We don't have a better mechanic, do we?
No. Rogers is in the drive
Do we
doing the
have someone
drives.
else that has mechanic?
Um,
Devin.
I thought Nagan had it or Devon had it.
I have a mechanical one if necessary. Will Weaver.
I will need to be on the sensors because I'm going to ask for a roll soon.
Yeah.
Who's John Scott? Does John
Dane,
have just
medic.
one character?
Sam is mechanical one, so I got mechanical one on both these characters.
Yeah, but Sam's needed in the engineering room.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
okay. So
it looks like I've only got like the medic or something, like one of the Marines. So that's a medic.
Yeah, you've got a medic. I don't think he's got. Does he have mechanical at all?
Dex, water, no, gun. I don't really have very much. Let's see, four turns. Yeah, I have more skills than that.
He's got medic 3 and survival 2.
Where's that at? Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay, I didn't scroll down far.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so if
He's a surgeon. All right.
he is
Well,
Teddy,
we've got another mechanic. I know we've got another mechanic.
Nagan,
It's not Devin. Tiberius is driving,
mm-hmm.
and I don't think it's him anyway. Have we looked at everybody?
Just Nagan.
Did somebody look at Megan? I looked at Devin. Devin doesn't have it.
I think you've got him, Pierre.
Look at Megan if he's got mechanic.
I got no access.
Oh, sorry.
Give Negan to John.
Or did I? Might have. He's got 3 colours by him, so he's got.
I don't have him.
John, you should have Nagan.
Okay, look again. Nope.
No? This is really weird.
I think
Hang on a second.
I think
Hang on.
Pierre has Negan.
No. Mentor had him.
Oh,
Not
okay.
not John. And now you've got him.
I do.
So Nagan is the merchant, first contact sort of person. But you may have mech.
Does he have mechanical?
Administration, engineering, navigation, steward, vac suit, and of course,
All right.
schedule.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and roll.
Okay.
All right, well there's a 13, so he fixes it. Whatever.
Sweet. And can I get that second sensor sweep, please, Will? Ah, you're doing well today. Whoa.
2 1s in a row.
Awesome.
Or two twos in a row.
I open up some panels and says, "It's jammed, Captain." Full of jam.
Well, jam. Okay. Devon, can Devon give me a does he have tactics or recon at all? Because at the moment he's the only
Devin
one.
has Fort Observer.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, the closest thing he's got is FO.
Okay. Give me a Ford Observer -1 plus whatever skill he has.
And what is this for exactly?
Him seeing something.
Okay. All right. He
Because
does
he's the
have
only
that.
one left in the turrets.
Yeah. Nope. He sees nothing.
Awesome.
He's blind.
Okay. As you're coming out of the gas giant after fueling up, there is an alert um, coming off the surface of your ship.
Right. And our sensor guy tells us that it is
Well, do me a census roll so you can discern what
Oh,
you think it is, sir.
oops. Yeah, what is it? Let's see. That's
now that it's too
excellent.
late. He sees it perfectly.
He does. Well, here's the odd thing. It's not one of those creature things, but it's you've never yeah. It's something. Funnily enough, um, it seems to have attached itself to the surface of your ship. The mass, um, given the surface area, um, well, the surface area is around about 2 square meters. You're not really reading that much mass, but it's kind of hard to read mass in space.
Is it like one of those giant floppy Star Trek pancakes that like
It's
sticks to the ceiling and the walls and attaches itself to
a
spots
big
of glass?
globby thing.
The pizzas,
Yeah,
the flying pizzas.
the flying. It looked like it was a bunch of scrambled eggs or something.
Okay,
Oh, I don't remember it that clearly. That's the episode I only saw 4 times.
okay.
Don't
Yeah,
remember it
Yeah,
so
I
well.
only saw it 3 times. How would I remember that detail?
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so Weaver, you got a location. Um, you can train a camera on, I guess. You can see part of it. Part of it looks a bit like a semi-translucent sheet that's flapping in the space wind, if that makes any sense. You have
Okay, is it a
no idea,
denizen of the gas giant? Is we picked it up in there?
quite possibly, but it definitely isn't what you are hoping not to find.
I think it's an illusion. I disbelieve.
Wrong system, but good try.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If anything, it would be drug induced. Um, and you haven't told me you're taking anything. So
Yeah.
that's what you can. That's sort of roughly what you can see. You're not sure what the hell it is,
Okay, we
but
can't
it's not.
electrify the hull. We've
Yeah,
been
of course
through
you
this with
can.
the other creature.
Of course you can.
We can?
Yeah.
Um,
I thought the last time somebody had to go out manually and go confront the thing with a
Yeah.
well,
an
that
ice
was when it
scooter
was.
or something.
That was when it was an alien.
Oh,
When it was one of those bad aliens,
Yeah.
yeah.
and we had to go shoot it with a plasma gun,
Mm.
which we might could do with this.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. We don't want to shoot it with a turret.
You don't have any turrets that can actually get to it at the moment.
Well, and it would be foolish to shoot our own ship.
Hmm
Um, well,
And you have the option of the hull.
so yeah, I mean, we can electrify the hull. What else can we do to the hull? That's pretty much it, I think, isn't it?
Hmm
Well, obviously, we will try that first, knowing full well that that will not work.
Okay, give me a roll, 2d6 please. Will, you'll be doing it, Will, so away you go.
Oh, anybody? Okay, 2d6.
Yeah, didn't work.
It simulated its reproductive urge, and
Yeah.
now he got two
Now
sheep.
it's making mad love to this outer shell of your ship.
The ship will be covered in fruit roll-ups or whatever. Yeah, that sort of
super
sickly,
gross.
sugary thing.
Yeah.
Ay,
No effect.
Okay.
Okay, no effect.
Lance will put on his battle dress with the plasma gun.
Okay, just oh, you mean the Imperium one or the one he's got from the Colonial Forces?
The good one.
Okay. Just click on it goes.
I think he's only got one. I think
Okay, the group does have that might be Devon has the old Imperium one,
yeah, Devon's got the old one.
but that one doesn't even have a plasma fusion gun thing on it.
Oh, I
No,
thought
he only got
once we
the
had.
armor. He only got the armor.
Oh, but the other ones.
Oh, all the other ones have got the weapons.
Yeah.
Laser
right.
rifle, flamethrower, and plasma gun.
Yeah. I both. I mean, unless I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somebody else wants to go out with me. Devon also has 0G combat.
I think this is going to be overkill again.
Does John have 0G?
I don't think so.
Well, nobody has his.
I got
Yeah.
vac suit. One guy. I got a marine with vac suit one, and then let's see.
Yeah, there's no 0G box in the classic sheet here. Who made this sheet?
Yeah.
Pretty
Okay.
bad. And one die roll for brawling.
All right. Devon and Lance go out, and Devon, I guess, will take a laser rifle. Lance will take a plasma gun.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, you just decide which one your suit needs to use, because you do have a laser rifle built into your left arm.
oh well, I thought you said Devon's didn't. Oh, he does have access.
Everyone's got one of the high tech battle armors.
Got it.
It's just that Devon also has the old tech battle armor.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So he's got heavy weapons one. So yeah, he's definitely going to take a plasma gun. Use the plasma gun. All right. So we'll go out there and we'll tie off and we'll shoot the damn thing.
Okay.
We'll take a look at it first to see if we can figure out what the hell is it. What the hell
Get
is
over
it?
a lip, and basically it looks similar to a huge translucent jellyfish that has a translucent opaque central bowl, if you like, but it stretches out, about 10 meters behind the ship, so it's a big creature.
It stretches out 10 meters behind
Yeah,
the
so
ship.
you've got the bulbous thing that's attached to the hull, and then you've got the stuff that looks sort of like a sheet or several sheets or something that's translucent, that's sort of moving as the ship's moving.
Okay. Sergeant Lance in his radio says, "Shoo, shoo."
Yeah.
Damn you and your translucency.
Your evil translucency.
And he stomps on the deck a couple of times, hoping it will psychically understand the message that we don't want it here. Does it talk back to him at all?
No, unless he's taking drugs.
Okay. Devin will shoot at it. Well, Devin will shoot near it with the laser and see if it reacts at all. If I can shoot it. He shoots it with a plasma gun.
Where you go.
All right.
You're at
So
least
he's
6
got heavy
meters
weapons.
away, so it's a +3 to hit. Poor creature.
And he's +1 with he's got heavy weapons. So.
Yeah, and it has the equivalent of, and he gets a +4 to hit because of the armor. I think double ones are the only thing you're going to miss on.
So he gets a +8.
Excellent.
I think he hits it with a 17.
Yeah, and we need.
I think if it were D&D, he would hit it.
Yeah, definitely. And he needs 12d6, please.
Well, one thing about it,
Mm,
it's not going to feel any pain.
hopefully. Okay, this thing just, yeah, that bulbous part just sort of disintegrates, and the sheety parts just sort of all just fly off into different directions, and is a bit sort of stuck onto the outside of the hull, mostly burnt, less stuck, where it's sort of char grilled onto the hull. So yeah.
All right, and if its mother comes looking, she better fucking watch out.
Yeah.
That's all I've got to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we all remember that Star Trek episode.
Don't we just?
Okay. Devin, blows on his plasma gun. Of course, it has no effect because he's got a helmet on.
But it's with cinematic effect.
Yeah.
And Teddy just looks at him like, really? Did you have to? But anyway. and Devin gives him the, what the fuck are you saying, look? I have one, of course I have to.
I was talking to it.
Yeah. It didn't seem to want to talk.
I could feel it understanding me. And you blasted it to hell.
Anyway. Yes, Devin says, yes. Long live the whatever military thing he was in. Okay, you get back inside. You head off to the jump point. We need a Captain Tacoma roll to make sure you don't blow up.
Captain Tacoma roll. 2d6 plus 3. Roll a good number. 11.
Okay, boom. Right, 1 week. Yeah.
I guess we could have just jumped with the thing on the hull, huh?
And seen what had happened. Oh look, it makes it super big. We're being digested by it.
Yeah. Or whatever. Yeah. Better to just get rid of it.
Yep. Okay. So thank God there's no such thing as alignments in this game. You come out after a week unless you're doing anything specific or spectacular.
Maintenance on the engine.
Roll for Samuel, please.
Roll a Pierre. You there, Pierre? Oh,
yep.
There we go.
Sweet as. You come out. Boom. Sensor roll. People are in their turrets, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Okay. Actually, you can't get much better than that, can you? Okay, so there's a couple of automated signals giving transponders, sort of giving pathways into the system. You also
is this Macass?
GEOACKER. No, you've already gone past Macass.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're at your destination point. So, but there's also a background signal you can't quite make out, but you'll want to probably just it's probably a distance thing. So whether you want to travel towards the planet now or not, it's up to you, because I'm assuming you aimed for the planet straight away, because you got no gas giant to refill. You have to land on the planet to refill.
Right.
So how do you want to head to the planet? 1G,
I'm sorry.
2G?
You said there's a gas giant, right?
There's no gas giant
No.
here.
We have to land on the planet. Okay.
Yep. Do you want to come in slow while
what's our fastest? What's our fastest speed?
2G, I believe, on this puppy.
We'll go
In a
into
second.
G.
I'll just check for you.
They're tech level 7, so unless the scout base
I beg your
and or the
pardon. 3G is your highest.
okay, 3G is our highest speed.
Yeah. So you
Um,
can either GEOACKER. Sorry. Wrong place. GEOACKER is a Type 6 planet. 6 planet. Okay, either 188 minutes, 324 at 1G. 188 at 3G, 230 at 2G, 324 minutes, and they're all in minutes at 1G. What do you want?
well, let's go fast.
Okay. So, Will, you're going to get one more roll to try to
Sensors?
define what that, to define what that carrier sensor signal is. You're not quite sure what it is.
Okay, whoops, I keep confusing the choice of character name.
Okay.
Oh, good.
No, there's something there, you can't quite make it out. And you're coming in pretty hot and quick, so your attention is mainly on ensuring that you follow the transport lane as close as you can, so you don't hit any itinerant asteroids or anything. So you're coming in, you finally get a visual on the planet. You're around about 4,000, 6,000 K out from the planet when your sensors pick up a whole lot of bogies heading towards you.
A whole lot of bogeys.
Okay, he's picked up 13 what would appear to be missiles heading your general direction. What do you want to do? Can you give me a
Where are they
sensor
coming
roll,
from?
please? From the in front of you, from the planet. Not sorry, from the planet. From low orbit. Can you give me a sensor roll, please, Will? Okay, the one thing you can tell, there's two things you can tell. These weapons are armed with, they're capable of destroying your ship, even one of these things, but they seem to be only travelling at 1G. And they seem to be locked onto you at the moment. So in your role
Radio the planet.
as Tacoma, what are you doing? Trying to radio the planet?
Well, we get the comms officer to radio the planet. Other than that, we will
impact in half a minute.
We will maneuver away from the missiles.
Okay. You're getting no return signal from the planet. You keep on maneuvering away, you're heading away from the planet. Basically, these missiles will run out of fuel and they'll just go along on their last vector, which you can easily avoid as they head off into space.
Right. And we'll do another sensor check and see if we can determine where these came from. So if we get Will to... Jeez.
Will has no idea.
Right, well...
So, Samuel I believe has electronics, so he can have a go if you want.
Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who's got Samuel? I think
That'd
Pierre's
be
got
you, Pierre.
Samuel as well.
So when you're ready, Pierre, to roll for Samuel for his electronic one.
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah,
That's
I'm
all cool.
fine.
That's all cool.
Um, still no good.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
you guys are at a dead end unless anyone else has electronics.
No, we just fly. We go ahead and fly back towards the planet.
Okay.
Uh, there's no there's no radio coming off of the planet.
No, it seems to be from low orbit.
But I mean, there's no signal at all coming off of the planet.
Um, no, Will couldn't get anything.
So there's probably 8 million people watching TV and listening to the radio, but we can't see it because we can't roll above a 8.
Maybe
Okay.
they all got cable.
maybe, maybe they all got internet. They're watching YouTube
Fiber.
videos. Yeah.
They could all be on their version of Facebook.
Well, we don't want to destroy their planetary defense system. I mean, it's kind of bad. We wasted 13 missiles. I almost feel like we ought to go pick up their missiles and give them back to them or something.
Yeah.
And tell them, we're sorry. I think these are yours. We didn't mean to trip the security system.
Will could build better missiles with a plastic casing and some water and a bicycle pump.
Yeah.
You know, just out in the space like that.
So they're 1G missiles. That's all.
Mhm.
That's all they go.
Mhm.
Wow. That's kind of bad. And there were 13 of them that were shot.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go in a little slower this time.
Okay.
We'll just go in at 1G, and then if they shoot missiles again, we'll speed up
Okay.
and outrun them, and we'll do that until the satellite runs out of missiles, and then we'll
Rightio.
and then we'll go into the planet.
Well,
Right.
if it was
Will.
something orbiting, if it was something orbiting, then it's probably gone around the planet. It's going to come back on the other side, and they're going to use their low technology on us again, and we'll outrun them. So,
except that we don't know where it is.
At the moment.
yeah.
Will, can I
Well,
get another census
we
week,
got to
please?
sense the near space. So if our only clues is low Earth orbit, we can scan the mother again. You know, I must have been up 24 hours so far scanning.
Okay. Another scan, thanks, as you're coming in slow this time.
What's that?
Another slow, you're coming in slower this time, so you got a bit more
Okay,
time up your
yeah.
sleeve.
But no pluses.
No.
No.
There we go.
Okay, rightio. That two things. You sort of located. It's a ring of satellites. There is no. It's placed in such a way that the satellites are covering the full 360, and actually there's 6 rings altogether that cover the planet. So one at the equator, one on a sort of a 45-degree angle, and another one on the 40 out to the north-south, and then the other one south-north, or east, east-west, west-east. So it's and then on the parallel, on the perpendicular. So it's well covered. There are no holes to speak of, but that was what was generating that low field. It's a very old-fashioned sense of radar for space called, I don't know, is it LIDAR? I can't remember.
LiDAR.
LIDAR. Yeah.
All right. Well, can he figure out a gap through it so we don't get shot at?
There is not really a gap. What you need to do is take one out.
Oh, jeez. Can we use ECM?
Do you have any ECM packages on board your ship?
Well, we got sensors.
Yeah, but they're taking, not sending out. Well, they are. You do have active sensors, but they're not ECMs. You've got missiles and
If
you've
they're
got medium lasers or something.
Yeah, but I don't want to destroy their defense system. I mean, that would be if we use ECM, we could fix it if we needed to. If we blow it up, it's kind of
We could rig a little coffee can with and label it as Crybaby, and it makes a huge electronic sound. And let the primitive sensors attack that.
Hmm.
And meanwhile, we slip in.
So you're looking at laying some flak
Um,
down.
well, let's see. Do we know which satellite shot at us?
You can identify several. Yeah, there was about 5 of them that shot at you.
All right, we move.
And it would seem that they shoot at you once you get in with a 4,000 K range. So sitting outside of that range, you seem to be okay.
Okay. Well, so there were 5 of them. So each of them shot
2 or
2 or
3.
3 missiles.
But there's a whole lot of
But
them.
presumably they're going to have more. And the missiles are like little small missiles. They're not, like giant
They're
Saturn
half
V
half ton
nuclear
missiles.
warhead.
They're half
Yeah,
ton
they're little,
missiles. Yeah.
500-pound missiles that are maybe 6 feet tall by
Yep.
2 feet around or something.
Ship killers, but yeah.
It's something you'd put on a fighter.
Hmm.
Um, so they're going to have more missiles. And if we
Average
get within,
average sensibilities would tell you that you're looking at about a dozen to 2 dozen per satellite.
well, shit. All right, we'll just shoot one of the satellites down. Make a hole. You there?
Yep.
Oh yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure everybody's still there. So is Teddy's not on the laser, he's on the missiles.
Devon's laser.
Let's just use the laser.
Hmm.
Should have given John Devon.
He's got Dane.
Okay. Yeah, but nobody's getting sick. All right.
Not yet.
Gunnery 1. Okay.
And because you're going to take some time, I'm going to give him a +1 because he's going to have time to spend to aim, to to look at it and examine it and all that sort of stuff before he
Right.
shoots.
And we don't want to. So how big is the satellite? I mean, is it big as a house?
Yeah, that's from what you can tell with your sensors. It's automated. It's not manned.
Okay. All right. All right. We're just going to try to disable it. We're not going to try to blow it up. But I guess, 10.
Okay, give me a second. 2d6 roll as soon as I can get to the right page. Here we go. 2d6 roll, please. Come on. Double ones or double sixes. Boom. Okay. You don't seem to have done a heck of a lot to it.
Right. We shoot it again.
Okay.
And 11. A winner.
Okay, yeah, you definitely do. Give me a 2d6 roll. Just a flat 2d6. Okay. Here's the go. Didn't save, so... Ooh, goody. 10 of them go up. So the whole thing's going up.
What now?
Okay, you see a new star in the sky briefly as the missiles, missiles ignite. Well, explode really. Ten of them go up.
Right.
But you know exactly where to head for now.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yep, you're going to need a piloting roll, and it's going to take two piloting rolls, one to approach, one to go through. And
All right.
like
Do
you're
we get any
avoiding the missiles that have been sent by other defense points.
Do we get any navigation help or anything? Probably not.
The one to approach gets nothing. The one to go through gets a +1 because you've cleared the zone.
Right. All right. So 2d6 plus 3. Let's roll it from up here. And 11.
Okay, you have avoided
And
every single missile that's come your way with various 0G banks and dives and all sorts of things. And a +1 on this next one to get through. Yes, you are missing all of that which did not get vaporized. The little bits and pieces of what's left that are still, you can sort of see them starting to rain down on the planet as they burn the atmosphere, and there's other few bits and pieces that are going to be pulled in eventually. Okay, so so you're coming down. Sensor, don't need to give me a sensor sweep, Will. You're receiving no electrical output anywhere. It's like electrically this planet is dead, and you're expecting something.
can we do a quick survey of the planet?
Tacoma can. Yeah, he's going to have to make another roll to he's behind the. He's going to have to pilot. Okay, he manages to. The platforms are also launching this side as well.
Oh, we can't get 4,000 clicks away from it.
No, because you're now inside it.
I thought if we went below, they'd stop shooting at us.
Yeah, most people would have thought that too.
Okay, so we need.
What does that tell you, though? What does that tell you?
They wanted us to have a proper signal or something, but there's no radio stuff on the ground.
Nope, there's nothing.
Was there any radio emanation from the satellites?
Not really, no. Unless they go
No?
active, you can like very quickly.
Okay.
They go active, launch, and boom. So they've got some probably got some really good shielding going on.
We needed a proper transponder or something. Something they would recognize.
So you're missing all these missiles that are sort of blowing up in the upper, just outside the upper atmosphere or in the upper atmosphere.
We're attracting attention.
Okay. I mean, do we see any population centers anywhere?
Quickly zooming over, you see magnified up remains of population centers.
Okay.
So those missiles aren't shooting at you, right? I mean, they're shooting the planet.
Say that again, sorry?
No. They're shooting at us. The missiles are shooting at us.
Mm-hmm.
And the remains are remains from another time.
Mm-hmm. You're still in the upper atmosphere in that zone just before you get into the atmosphere, so what do you want to do? You're sort of moving around, you've been dodging.
Well, so we can fly into the atmosphere, right?
Yep.
Well, we need to fuel up. We head for the ocean and fuel up.
Okay. Rightio. Once you get into the atmosphere proper, well, you can say that the missile system is shut down from attacking you.
Good.
So you need a need a sensor sweep to get to a relatively shallow part of water.
Yeah, to fuel up, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pick a couple of areas. Okay, Tacoma, make a piloting roll at a -1.
And 8.
Just. Okay, you park down in an area that's around about 500 feet deep, roughly. And the engine the plant starts kicking in, producing. Yeah. So you're under the water, secreted on this planet. What are you doing? Do you want to send a buoy with an antenna up to the surface?
We can, and we can also send signals through the water, I presume, as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Or can we do sensors in the water?
Um,
So we can
you're
see. I
going
mean,
to
it'd be
get
living
some
under the water.
sensors. Yeah, you're going to get some. Some of it's not going to be as good, depending on what's in the water. You know, if there's high
Right.
metal content, that's going to tend to screw your signals.
Okay. Well, Pierre, go ahead and do some sensors in the water, and we'll buoy a sensor up and
Hmm.
see what we can see
Okay,
from that
let's see.
as well.
Okay, your first one is unclear. Having a look, there is a high metal content in the water, and that is going to screw over your sensors. Sending a buoy up. Have another go, Will.
Okay.
Okay, you get a much better result. So yes, this planet does have a dense tainted atmosphere, so there is a fairly high level of metal particulate as well. You're picking up typical signs of carbonized material. Um, Basically, you're getting a sense that this planetary atmosphere has some of the stuff, comparing it to the computer, some of the stuff that's present now wasn't present at the latest census. So there's probably been some sort of heavy surface bombardment.
Okay.
Is the closest thing you can sort of come to. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we fuel up
You are getting,
and
with the buoy, you're getting some very low level frequency, short range wave communications. It's very weak, it's intermittent, you can't really pick it up, but you are getting a signal of sorts. Nothing to
can we
that's intelligible.
get a vector on
Yep,
it?
yep, that's easy enough. That would point you to a southwestern position from your current position, which would lead you to roughly a peninsula.
Okay. Let's go there.
After you fueled up.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, several.
And actually, you know what? After we fuel up,
Yep.
we're going to get on the beach,
Mm.
and then we're going to um,
You do have an air raft.
get in our vac suit,
Yep.
and take soil samples and water samples and
Okay.
whatever else. Is there any flora?
There is some. It's very low. It looks slightly. It sort of has that sort of fungusy sort of look to it, but it's not fungus. It's sort of a
Okay,
pulpy sort of consistency to it.
like a
Um,
mushroom,
Close
like a
to a
scalp
mushroom, but
mushroom.
like a really thickened mushroom, if you like.
Okay,
Nothing over 4 feet. They're quite thick. You have a stem, and from the stem there is sort of 3 or 4 broad, very broad leaves around about 3 foot wide, about 4 foot high. If you were to take one off, it's
And it
roughly in an
doesn't
oval sort of shape.
look like an alien.
Nope, no, it's a dark red russet sort of colour. Um, there's that, and then there's another sort of really weird, what basically looks like an upside down tree, but an emaciated tree. It's got one tall, thin central trunk, and it has branches that instead of hanging down grow up, and it's wider at the top and narrower at the bottom of the trunk, so it sort of looks like an inverted immature pine tree without all the pine needles on it.
Okay.
Be a
Well,
total of around about 7 8 feet tall at the most. Those things don't hide anything. It's the other whatever you want to call it that seem to give you best cover.
all right.
That's
So
the only
we
flora.
we sample the flora, we
Yep.
sample the air, we sample the water, we sample the ground.
Yep.
Um, and then how far away is the signal from here?
Okay, picking up a signal would be around about 6 clicks from here.
Oh, really? That close?
hmm It's very short wave.
Um,
Short range, you mean? Yeah.
Short range, short wave. Yeah.
so we have an air raft. All right. Well, let's pick 3 characters and go check it out.
Sweet.
I think maybe the captain will stay with the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So
Bring a medic.
Yeah, the medic. The medic is the one taking over the samples.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the medic goes, Sergeant Lance goes, and then Pierre, pick a character, and we'll bring him.
Yeah, Sam has. I wonder if which has the better.
Sam would
Probably
be all
Sam
about the
with
ship.
sensors. Oh,
Sam,
well,
yeah,
we
you
want
know.
somebody with sensors, maybe.
Well, that'd be electronics at your best.
Yeah, do
So
I get
who
one
else?
of those? Do I get one of those Star Trek boxes with one knob that makes the high pitched little wee 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 sound?
Only if you
Yeah.
want Sam to make one for you. Won't do much else, but you know.
John has one of those.
Yeah, I just studied the electronics chapter on knobs and circuits and making wee 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 sounds with the speakers. That's all I studied so far.
Okay.
Don't you have a tricorder, John? Do I remember that right?
No. I've got the really good phaser. The
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I've got a crappy tricorder. I don't think it makes noises though.
No, I'm gonna pick Will. He does have sensors, but so did Samuel, and but Will has the laser
Cool.
rifle too, I think.
Okay.
That'd be good.
Which is already built into. Well, it's a laser carbine built into your ship, into your armor.
Terrific.
Yep.
Okay, so that armor, Will, is going out. And
Yep.
so who do you have then? Away team is
Dane, Lance, and Weaver.
Okay.
Right. Dane, can you give me a med roll, please?
Okay. My med is 3. So I will grab some dice here. 2, 6.
Cool. Okay, so just from initial readings and all your samples, it's all in line with what you expected it to be here, except of course that there is a whole lot of more carbon present than you would have expected, and also the plants here, the biota, these are genetically engineered plants that colonists use to help terraform planets. So these things can be broken down into food at its base level. So yeah, this is as far as you're concerned, this is human-made stuff at the moment. There's nothing in here apart from the higher levels of carbon. The radiation levels are roughly what you expect. Yeah, everything else is roughly what you'd expect. So just as you're going through, just you can sort of give them the preliminary results. You need to get back on the ship to do deeper studies, but preliminarily, apart from the extra carbon, everything is what you thought it might be.
And I probably get from all the fires and devastation and stuff from the whatever happened
Yep.
with the
That would be your working assumption at the moment.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so who has air raft? Air raft 0's fine.
Will does, and
Cool. Okay, Will, you're piloting. Phew. Okay. Otherwise
nobody
you,
else had ever.
yeah, you all pile onto this thing, and no one can fly the bloody thing. Okay.
Let me check. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Hang on.
So what sort of elevation do you want to be flying at? Do you want to fly low or high?
We want to go low and slow.
Low and slow. So to cover everything, you would be about 4 meters off the ground, and you'd have a good solid 2 meters between you and the tallest trees.
So I've got grav vehicle 0.
Yep, which will be a raft. Yep.
ATV 0 and ship's boat 0.
Cool. Okay, so you got 2 of you if one of you can't pilot.
Actually, I got ship's boat 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're flying over this forest sort of thing, if you like. There are patches where it's a bit more denser and patches where it's less denser. As you're sort of coming up to the location of the radio, you can start to make out a small jury-rigged antenna. You're about a K out. I know Devon would have lent someone his binoculars, and someone else has got some. So you'd be able to see that you're actually approaching a small enclave that's based around the tower. There seems to be some sort of really basic fortification in the form of a wall that stands around about 2-3 meters tall. Inside that there are a couple of just barely what you'd call houses or habitation, and then in the centre, as I said before, is the tower itself, which stands about 5 meters in all height. So you've got around about 5 houses or 5 buildings within this wall.
All right. Can we use the radio to ping the tower?
Yep.
And we'll ping the tower and see if anybody answers.
You get a call sign, and they're waiting for an answer.
We get a call sign?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Delta Charlie 3, Delta Charlie 3, over.
All right. Well, and I guess we'll use the ship name, which I can't remember off the top of my head.
And the first one was the Credence. I don't think you've named this one.
Oh, it's back in my big notes somewhere.
Okay. Credence was the first one.
We'll
quickly looking on side of the air raft, its serial number is 006CF. There you go.
Yeah, so we'll use that. We'll say this is air raft 00.
CF.
Saying hello. We're here on a survey mission, and wanted to make contact with anyone here on the planet.
And the voice sort of sounds really uncertain. I just gotta get my dad. That's what it says.
Right.
And
right. We just want to make sure it's okay. We just want to make sure it's okay to come in, and that we're not going to get shot at.
sort of there's nothing there. You sort of wait a bit, and then you get a different voice. Again, Delta Charlie. Who is this?
Yeah, this is the thing on the side of the air
Yeah.
raft. Yeah, we're here doing a survey, and we wanted to check in with the local population and see who we could speak to about this current status. Is it safe to come in? We thought we'd call before we came in.
Wise choice, this would said. If you're an air raft, we take it you can see our settlement.
Yeah, yeah. We wanted to get close enough to call.
Mm-hmm. Well, as long as you're humans, you shouldn't have any problem.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We're human. Like I said, we're here kind of doing a survey. We're from, yeah. We'll talk after we come in.
Right.
But yeah, is there a good place for us to land? Is this the only house there, or is it a whole settlement?
It's basically a walled-in 4 or 5 building settlement. That's it.
Okay. Well,
So you get permission.
I ask,
Yeah.
is there a safe place? Is there a safe place for us to put down?
It'd be safer to put it inside the walls, but you know, we're going to be cautious too, as long as we're all.
Oh well, yeah, I
Yeah.
understand.
Right.
I mean, if you want to meet us outside the walls, that's fine with
We
us. I mean,
don't
we don't know.
necessarily go outside the walls unless we have to.
All right. So, just out of curiosity, what's the danger?
Some of the local fauna.
Right. Um, can you be a little more specific?
Some of the original terraforming flora and fauna's gone a little bit out of control, especially after the
Of
invasion.
the flora and the fauna?
Yeah, it's relatively safe around here. That's why we built in this area.
So, we did take some samples on our way in of this kind of funky mushroom thing and a weird
Mm-hmm.
upside down tree.
Mm-hmm. They're safe.
Uh, oh, okay, they're good.
Yeah,
So we
just
don't have to
don't
throw
eat
them out.
them raw. They got to be processed.
Gotcha. Well, we weren't really going to eat them, but
Good.
yeah. Okay, cool. So we'll land wherever you tell us to.
Well, you're told to land inside the walls, so.
All right. Um, yeah, we don't really want to make a big fuss. So
Oh, you being here has made a big fuss. So
all right.
basically, as you come in, you're going to see these people out. I mean, obviously they've got shotguns. They're heavily clothed. They've got goggles on. They've got some sort of filter respirator on. Um, all in all, there'll be about half a dozen people. You're picking most of them are male. Some of them might be female. They're a little bit slighter, or they could just be younger males. You're not sure. Um, but
Let's
they're
hope
sort of,
they're yeah.
yeah. That all they've got is shotguns. So your battle armor is
Right.
gonna, you know.
Right. Well, and we're wearing our battle armor,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
Um. Right. Well. So yeah, we come in and we're all smiles, and we'll the the so that the atmosphere is breathable.
It's dense tainted. It's thick with particulate at the moment. There are
Right.
areas where it gets a bit clearer, and then there's areas where it's a bit thicker. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so we land. We're all going to kind of keep our vac suit or our suits closed.
Yeah, of course you are. And of course your weapons are inside, like, you know, your weapons actually come out, so you can keep them
Right. Right.
completely inside. You don't have to expose them.
So, I mean, we kind of explained that pretty quickly. We just say, look, we're not quite sure. You guys seem to have some kind of immunity.
Well, the only immunity we've got is getting inside quick, says some guy. So he sort of motions to come to one building.
Right. Well, we'll do that. Yeah.
Right, okay. You come in. You like they take off their their head coverings and respirators and stuff. Um, Basically, they have the I guess what you'd call the organic equivalent of an airlock, which is stuff built with wood and chinked up and all that sort of stuff. So you have this area where it opens and then it closes, and then the atmosphere is not being exchanged too much, because inside there the atmosphere is a bit more filtered, so you can breathe
Right.
better. So after about 5 minutes, they take their stuff off and say you can breathe now, and the
Okay.
inner door opens up.
Right. So Dane, why don't you take a sample of the atmosphere inside and make sure that it's not got something that's going to kill us
hmm
in the
Right.
atmosphere.
Okay, so it's easy enough to take. Yes, it's dense. Yes, it's the amount of particulate and amount of taint in the atmosphere here. I mean, if you're exposed to the atmosphere for more than about 5 hours, you would start suffering effects. 3 hours, you're going to be totally safe, but after 3 hours is when you're going to start saying, no, we've got to start doing something.
Is there? I guess I also want to check. I mean, it may take me longer. I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't know what kind of scanning I can do that doesn't involve being more invasive, like needing blood samples or whatever. But I'm just kind of curious if there's anything here
Okay.
that
Um,
they can get or that they have that they're immune to that we won't be.
okay, so there's no pathogens in the air that you can identify. Um, if anything, there's very little in the air except from solid particulate matter and the gases, which aren't quite right mix for standard human operating abilities. But there's very little in the way of anything else in the atmosphere. And what it
Okay,
would be a build-up of the incorrect gases and the particulate matter in your lungs that would actually do the damage after 3 hours.
gotcha.
Yeah, but
All
that's
right.
about the only other thing.
Well, I tell everybody else that it's safe, and when you start coughing up black stuff, it's time to put your mask back
Yep.
on.
Right. Um, okay. Well, Sergeant Lance will take his off
Okay.
first.
Yep. And so when you take it off, all it does is it sort of recedes back into the rest of the suit, sort of thing, because it is nanotech. There's no actual helmet that comes
Right.
off. It's a solid
Cool.
object. So that sort of just folds
Okay.
away, and they all sort of look at that with a little bit of awe.
He resists the urge to uh, go into convulsions just to fuck with everybody.
Yep. Okay.
Um,
Good stuff.
uh, anyway, and then they watch him for a few minutes, and then when he doesn't drop dead,
Mhm.
everybody, I guess everybody else will take off their helmets.
Rightio.
Takes his helmet off. He's like, I smell almonds.
But yeah,
Anyone else taste almonds on their tongue?
Yeah, almonds.
Okay, you move out of
Brooklyn.
the airlocky thing into the other room, which is even clearer still. Um, and the air, Dane, you can see on your medical pad that this air has been filtered somewhat and enriched, so it's actually a lot safer. You could easily survive in here. It would take years and years and years of being in here to actually do anything bad to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So, okay. So the guy who sort of indicated to you sort of takes off his top and all the whatever, and then he sort of looks at you guys. So the people here are around about 6'5" on average. They're a bit wider and a bit heavier set than average. You actually expect something different on such a normal G planet, but that's just the makeup of these people.
So they're big and tall.
Big and yeah, even the women are big and tall.
They're less big and less tall. but
Yeah,
they're still big and tall.
yeah.
Um, okay. Well, that all sounds quite lovely. Um, so yeah,
The other guy's
I
just
guess
sort of looking at there, looking at you, waiting for you to say something.
okay. Um, well, so Sergeant Lance says, well, it's takes holds his hand out and says, I'm I'm Sergeant Lance, and
Okay,
this is Dane, and this who's our medical guy, and this is Will, who is our um, sensors guy, and we appreciate you letting us in.
okay. Well,
Um,
the other guy sort of tentatively puts his hand in yours and shakes it, and he says, "Garen."
Great, great. Um, so yeah, we've got some med kits here, and uh, Dane is a doctor. I don't know if you've got anyone that needs any medical attention, and we can leave some of these med kits here with you. But
No, we're
um,
okay.
if you okay, well, we'll leave these with you. Um,
We won't need them.
Creepy.
okay, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so the reason we're here, as
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you know, um, the big nasty aliens that have been taking over planets.
They've been taking over
Um,
planets. No, we just thought we were the ones invaded.
no, they've invaded a lot of other places. Um, we belong to a fairly sizable group of people that are resisting them, and we're pretty far away. I don't know if you have any star charts at this point or not,
You
but
may have noticed it's hard
um,
to see the stars in this atmosphere.
yeah. Well, I thought
Yeah.
you might have had some data from back before the invasion.
No.
Um, no doubt things have changed quite a bit since then. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's been how many years has it been? Like a couple of hundred
For
years?
these people would be getting close to 120 years.
Yeah, right, right. Um, so you're you guys are um, have y'all actually are any of the aliens actually living on the planet?
He gets a big huge smile. Says no.
Okay, good. Right. Um, and based on the rumors that we've heard, I mean, I don't know if you've seen very many off-worlders pass through or not, but
No.
we had heard rumors
Mm-hmm.
that there was something about the planet that mm, uh, was incompatible for the aliens, and they had a difficult time surviving. This is aside from the fact that no doubt y'all killed a bunch of them, but they're very difficult to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we were quite curious as to what the element was that ran them off,
Well,
because we
the
thought
stories tell they never got established.
right.
Yeah.
Well, so our main thing we wanted to do was take some soil samples and water samples and air samples and stuff like that, and just try to get an idea of what was different here
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to some of your neighbors, because comparatively you guys are doing quite well, it appears.
Well, if you call
um,
being blasted back to the Bronze Age doing well.
well, you're still here. You haven't been
Mm.
subverted by the alien creatures, so um, yeah, but that's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We can tell
So,
you
so
stories,
there's
but
that.
yeah, we can tell you stories, but you're doing better than many.
Right.
Um, right. So maybe you can. I mean, it's been a while since I guess the uh, the conflict took place that blasted you, so
Mm-hmm.
far back. But maybe you have some stories you can tell us to give us some idea of what went on.
Sure. He says perhaps you'd like
Tell us a
something to
tale.
eat first.
Sing us a song of your people.
Introduced to all of our wonderful cultural oddities. Yeah. So he offers you some sit down, some food, and just before he starts, he just wants to sort of get a feeling for what it's like off planet.
Um,
It's
okay.
terrible.
Well,
It's terrible out in
well,
space. It's cold.
yeah. Keep going. Keep going.
To say it's what was that off Star Trek? He says
Oh,
you know,
it's.
it's fear and darkness and disease wrapped in death and cold or something like
I
that.
thought he was going
Not
to
much
start
different than
singing
this planet,
a
then he
David
says.
Bowie song or something.
Yeah. So he says,
It's lonely out in space.
yeah. So how many other planets are free of the aliens in this subsector?
Well, you guys are pretty deep in a, a very large area um, that's been that's kind of been cordoned off. There's a there's a resistance around it, but this is probably a pocket of gosh, I don't know, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like maybe 60 60 star systems
Yep.
in this area
Yep.
um, that have had contact with the aliens, and to our knowledge, you guys are among the best situated that have really had to deal with them. Um, we've managed to hold them off um, beyond that, but it's been pretty bad. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, part of what we're doing is um, trying to find out, you know, the situation in various and sundry places
Right.
and get a sense. And of course, a lot of places are just overrun with the aliens, so we're having to be very very careful about that.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that perimeter, things are much as they always have been, except that people are really paranoid and scared. Um, so that's that's pretty much it.
Right. Okay. So what
I
do you
mean,
want to know of
we
us? He
we
says.
well, you know, the other part of our goal here is maybe to make contact
Mm-hmm.
and and see what you guys really need as far as help, and maybe see what we can do for you guys. Um, I mean, we definitely want to hear your story, but we also want to see what we can possibly do to help contribute to your well-being and reestablishing yourselves here.
Right. Well, he says one question. He said, "A short while ago, we saw a fire in the sky through the atmosphere.
Right? Yeah,
Shone
that
really
was
brightly.
us.
That was you."
Um,
Our bad.
yeah. Well, yeah, we encountered um, we encountered some system defense,
Mm-hmm.
and so we had to make our way through that.
Okay.
Um,
So you're going to be able to go back through it.
yeah, we should,
Okay.
as long as our sensor operator doesn't fuck up his role.
The guy sort of
Yes.
doesn't quite understand what that is, but
No.
anyway.
Right.
So I mean, so why do you ask? I mean, what are you looking for a ride, or Wow.
No, just wondered what it was. Because we have a tale about there being a great creature in the sky that will not let anyone off the planet or anyone onto the planet.
Yeah, that would be the case probably for most people. Um,
But we're magic.
well, we're a little
He
faster
gives you a little look at you and says, "We're not that dumb."
than.
Yeah.
I like do little spirit fingers. I'm like,
um, yeah. So yeah, tell us your story.
Okay, so he says, he calls out to one of them to bring over, and they bring over this old tablet, which is like they've hooked it up to some cranking system which powers it. He says, well, this is what we have. This is one of our remaining pieces of knowledge. Um, how this measures time, roughly 100, and it says 120 years ago. Um, the creatures fell from the sky. At that stage, our atmosphere was a lot cleaner. The terraforming units were still in action. Of course, they've been destroyed by now. So the planet is reverting back into its original state. But along with that, the battles and the fights with the creatures have reduced our civilized cities to nothing but rubble. So we now exist in small enclaves of people around the planet. I have no idea how many people are there, but we're in contact with 3 other groups who say they're in contact with 3 others or more others or whatever. So we sort of in a very long exchange of conversations can communicate around the world, but it takes a while. Um, I know of about 50, 52 other settlements. Um, Beyond that, I don't know if anyone else is out there. When they first came down, what the creatures did was um, they came down in the guise of humans, and then sort of started to change into, I don't know what you'd call them, but stranger creatures um, that, yeah, just seemed to attack anything that he gets hands on. That's when they killed a lot of our people. Um, they tried to infect us, but I've been told it's something called genetics that saved us. I don't know what that means. It's something in our bodies.
We know what it means.
Right,
Mm.
so we
right.
want their blood.
So I understand that the original colonists came here, and we were modified in some way to be able to live here, because the terraforming was going to take a couple of 100 years before the original humans could like come and live on the planet.
Well, that's very interesting.
Mm.
So you know, I think that I don't know. Dan, do you have a computer? Do you have like a
He's got his medical scanners and stuff with him.
yeah? So I mean, Dane can kind of explain what genetics means
You know,
for
while
anybody
while
that's
I
interested.
while I get like hair samples and stuff, because I think about
Yeah.
poking for blood. I think about poking for blood. They might like.
Well, I mean, we tell them what we want to do. I mean, and as part of that process, we explain genetics to them in pretty simple terms.
Yeah, well,
That,
as he
that I
said,
can
they're
say,
not
but
stupid.
you give
They
them like
get the
a
idea, but it's not something that it's known to them anymore. They
right.
have some
That or I
words.
can tell them I can give them like this something to help their immune system and give them like all saline shots and then like at the very end of the saline shot like pull back and get a little bit of blood.
Pull back a little bit. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, we don't. I don't know that we want to deceive them. I don't think we need to deceive them.
So
Um,
the leader says that he'll be the one that any samples sort of come from. No one else needs to be given that until he says that he feels that it's safe. No one else is allowed to be given any
Right.
samples.
Fair enough.
He says also my fellow settlement people will have their weapons trained on you should this be some sort of trick.
Well,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I'll just like get a little bit of his hair and like swab his mouth or something, and I mean that ought to
I
do
mean, that's all we need for genetics.
Mm-hmm.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll swab his mouth, then I'll curl up his hair, and then I'll be like, and that's genetics. Here, here,
I mean,
Okay.
honestly, he could swab his own mouth. I mean,
Yeah. Well, that's okay. They don't know what you're doing, so that's the thing. They're just preparing themselves in case it means something
yeah,
else.
yeah.
But okay, so you
there,
do
there's
that, and they get a bit
there's
more
little
comfortable.
magical things floating around
Yeah.
inside your spit and living inside your hair,
Right.
and we look at them.
So you've got your machine there, which is going to give you some basic data, but of course you're going to want to go back to the ship to get some more intensive data. But basically, yes, these people do appear to come from a mainstream human sequence. That they've had other bits and pieces. There's some they have been genetically modified. Um, there's a high level of some enzymes and some other protein strings that don't appear as much in normal strain humans.
Right.
So the protein would be
Um,
something that either they've ingested or it's somehow been manufactured in their body.
well, so you know, Dane might want to go ahead and send that data back to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and maybe I'll like grab some and do the same thing with like some of their food or some of their water or
Mm-hmm.
like that whole thing too to see if it's
Well,
um,
this goopy brown stuff that's got black and grey sort of speckles in it, it seems to have correlate to the same high level of high protein as well.
And so we ask them how all this stuff is made. I mean, what is this made from?
Well, that's from the bread plant. That's that brown broadleaf
Right.
plant.
Okay.
well I definitely want to get some of that then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so are you existing? Are you coexisting with your neighbors
Mm-hmm.
peaceably, or okay? So
We
everybody's
exist
kind
with
of in
every
survival
human.
mode, and
Well, not survival. There's enough there. It's just a hard life.
right, right. But I mean, y'all don't make life harder on each other by
Why?
being uncooperative to one another.
No,
So
no, we're Geoackians. Geoackians. We have no need to fight amongst ourselves. Our sole
right,
purpose is to create the perfect world for
yeah.
us and our
Well,
children.
that's good to see. Okay. Um, well, how are you raising food?
We go out and harvest it. If you haven't noticed, bread plants all over the place.
Okay, so you go out for short periods and harvest.
Mm.
Um, so the tools that we have on board the ship,
Mm-hmm.
they're for they're not farm tools. They're for like making things, machining things. Correct.
Would come in handy.
Um, so yeah, we let them know. I mean, we ask them, have you got any kind of industrial work that you're doing? Are you making
Well,
machines that help
we
you with
we make
farming?
weapons to protect ourselves. We can always use some other tools to machine things. So so excuse me. So their tech level would be like industrial level. Yeah. So they've only dropped about one, perhaps two levels of tech. They've been able to maintain a lot. So to be able to use more machines, basic machines, to,
It's just small scale.
yeah, it would definitely help them. because they've basically scavenged what they've got, and you know it's very hard to start fabricating anything. But if they were to have machinery parts that they could use to fabricate bigger machines, and it's that whole scale thing. The problem is they can't. They're so thin on the ground. They can't, get
How do you
above
move
into.
from
Yeah.
how do you move from place to place?
We don't have to usually. We just make the compound bigger.
Well, I mean, but if you wanted to go to another settlement,
We'd walk.
uh,
I wouldn't
okay,
go on the
but
water.
oh yeah,
It can be
yeah, the water's
yeah.
pretty nasty.
The open water here can be poisonous, but we gather water. We have some natural springs we gather water from, and we filter it till it's pure. Well, it's drinkable, potable. If you've got any machines that can
Right.
help us with that, that'd be really good. Because water is a scarce commodity. Drinkable water.
Well, and yeah. So I mean, I think
I'm sure I've got like the tablet. Like like should be those tablets that purify water. I mean, maybe if they're industrial, I mean, I'm sure it's got like ingredients. You know what I mean? Like on the back of the pack. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they can, like if you can, they can figure out how to, I mean, so they may not have the science to know how to clean the water, but maybe they have enough industry to copy a recipe,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Well, well, the easiest thing would be to give them tablets that would have information that they could learn, because as we've said, they're not stupid. They just don't.
well, and
They
they've
have
got
the
a
information.
computer. They've got a computer, but they don't have batteries. Is that part of it?
They've got a computer that they charge up with a little hand, you know, wind generator.
Right,
They
right.
don't have electrical production. That's the biggest problem here. That's what's keeping them back. If you've got something
Right.
that could give them electrical production, then
Oh man, well, I
Well,
mean, we could show them how to. I mean, that's super basic. I mean, we got people here with engineering one. I mean, my other
mm-hmm,
character's got engineering one. Like, you show them how to make a wind up like dynamo, like as long as this guy's riding this bike,
well, that's kind of what
mm-hmm.
they're doing now. I mean, that's what they're doing with the computer, right? I mean,
Yeah,
they're
pretty
just kind of
much. It's just all very
turning a
small
crank.
scale. Yeah, it's a very small scale.
Yeah.
They don't have the gear or the manpower or the centralized manpower to actually get beyond basic stuff.
Well, you don't have solar power because the atmosphere is screwed up.
Yep.
Um, do you have wind power at all?
Well, he says some of the original colonists tried that, but as the atmosphere got thicker, it became harder to actually maintain the mechanics.
What about thermal
I've heard
power
there's
from
some
it?
people out there somewhere, but I've never been there.
Right. Okay. Well, I tell you what, um, we've got a computer on this ship, and um, we could probably do a data exchange. I mean, your computer here, even though you're low on batteries, um, we could give you some data that might help you in many ways to build some machinery.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get some thermal power. Um, I don't know if you're getting water from underground or not, but
Mm-hmm.
you might could produce some power from the water underground. Um, you can't really do nuclear power, and you can't really do power from, I don't know. Are you? I guess you could burn some things, but I don't know that you'd really want to.
No.
I think your atmosphere is already
Mm-hmm.
bad enough.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, we might have some data that can help you. I mean, do you have an engineer,
Well,
somebody
myself
that builds
and
stuff?
or everyone here is trained in a little bit of everything,
Okay.
whatever we can keep.
Well, so um, we've got room in the air raft. If well, if we're going to drop off stuff, um, why don't we head back to the ship? Is there a place inside the compound that's big enough for us to land the ship?
No, it wouldn't be. You have to land the ship outside.
Um, if you we can actually we can call the ship
Hmm.
and have the ship come, and we'll just take him into the cargo hold and let him pick out some things that he thinks he needs, and we'll try to do a data exchange. We've probably got some batteries we can hook up to his computer,
Hmm.
and suck all the information, copy all the information we can out of his drive, and then give him whatever he wants
Right.
on some data storage, and then kind of be on our way from there, and just kind of shake hands and
Hmm. So as you're
let him
doing
know that.
this, yeah, as you do that, he suggested it'd be a great idea if you could do that for a couple of other places, and until you've like done as much as you can.
Well, and that was kind of our idea. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff, and I mean, we had intended to get paid for it, but honestly, we're doing pretty well financially at this moment, and this mission was really more of if we could make some profit, that'd be great, but if we couldn't, then it was
You
okay.
want
We were
profit, so what do you
we,
consider profit?
uh well, we use the old credits like everybody else used to,
Hmm.
but I don't know that there's really. I mean, we kind of hate to take anything from you, honestly,
We have no use for
except
money at
maybe.
the moment. So if you
Yeah,
want to
no, I
go to
get
any
that.
of the cities and you want to raid any of the old banks there, welcome to, if it's of any value to you. We have no use for it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We may do that. I don't know that we
Yeah.
necessarily are that worried about it, but I mean, the main thing is that you know um, you guys represent an anomaly, and I think it is in humanity's best interest um, to form a good solid friendship with you,
Hmm.
and learn whatever we can from you, and possibly you may be the key to saving humanity. So that I don't think comes with a price. Um, so,
Well,
but
this
I do
is
think
you have our
it
thanks.
if it's possible, since you seem to be an important person here, and probably people are familiar. Your neighbors are probably familiar with you as well. If we could talk you into maybe going with us and introducing us around to
Sure.
um, some of your neighbors, it might facilitate our mission a bit.
Hmm.
Way we won't have to recreate the wheel. Maybe you could get on the radio and let some folks know that we're coming.
Right. Okay, so
Um,
he'll do that while you guys sort of settle down for the evening.
but
Um,
we'll go ahead and call the ship.
yeah.
Um,
And,
so
and
and I ask him once again, is there any is there anything really dangerous outside the compound
The
that
animals.
is? So what's dangerous about the animals? Have they been converted
Well,
into
the early
aliens?
colonists bought animals in for entertainment, zoos and things and whatnot. There were some basic herbivore type creatures who have since evolved into slightly different creatures. Um, so sort of describe things all from like about 5 kgs up to around about close to 1,000 kgs. Um, some really big, nasty, nasty temperamented creatures that live off the bread plants, but have gotten quite aggressive.
Right, but they're not tainted.
Tainted?
They're not tainted with the alien taint.
Oh no, no, not as far as they know. No, they're just natural. Um, and yeah, the beasts of burden that have escaped into the wild and have become aggressive. There's some other smaller niche creatures. Um, there was some very small aquatic creatures originally before the place was settled and terraformed. Um, but that would be the only thing that's native that he really doesn't have that much information on. He can sort of give
Okay.
you the other sort of things, the wild animals. He said, so every now and then you might come across a hunter or a pouncer type creature, and it's just basically the lineage of whatever escaped the zoo from one of the cities, sort of thing. Um,
Right.
it's that sort of world, but primarily the most dangerous creatures are the big herbivore types, which would tend to trample you. They won't, or gore you with their huge protective horns or something. They're not actually after you for food. It would be more a territorial thing, or I'm just woken up on the wrong side of the bed sort of thing, because they're highly temperamental creatures.
Right. All right. So we called the ship. Um, is the laser turret on top or on bottom?
On bottom. The missiles are in
Well,
the back on top, laser on the bottom.
that's unfortunate.
But lasers at the front though. Yeah. So he'd be shooting
Okay.
upside down. Now that he's on a planet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and I think probably a plasma gun would probably chase off any big giant monster thing that might come to mess with the ship.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, we call Captain Tacoma and get him to come land.
Mhm.
Um, we take the guy and
Right.
bring him into
So
our
he's,
cargo hold.
yep. Him and his crew will go through what they think they need. You'll basically be able to get the exchange of data, and Samuel could probably cook up a better sort of battery system for them. Um,
Right.
it's all pretty basic stuff, and you've certainly got the machinery parts to do it all. And he said that he's lined up another 3 places to stop over in the next couple of days, and probably there'll be some people from there.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So we'll all go back to our ship,
Yep.
and we'll just say, yeah, we're going to go back and rest now, and
Mhm.
we'll see you in about 10 hours,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
if
So
if you
basically, if we resolve this in a montage of several days of visiting different people in different places, if that's okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Montage.
Yeah. Montage time. Boom, 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 boom.
I show my computer, and the teens are very interested, and I tell them, okay, Marcy's in high school and she's dating Brad, but Brad is secretly dating Jane, and Marcy doesn't know. And
You've created pop culture.
yeah, they're very interested.
Yeah, all the parents and adults now hate you because you've re-released the teenagehood.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
and I'm sure that amongst our data that we
Mhm.
have, we've got music and
Yep,
you know
all
books and
sorts of stuff.
other and all sorts of stuff,
Yeah.
videos.
So you're creating a
So yeah,
tiny bit of the Imperium right here on this planet.
absolutely, absolutely.
So how far are you prepared to do this? Because basically what you found is you stop at the first 3 and they've set up the next 3, and then it looks like they're going to set up the next 3.
We just
Next week.
clean out the cargo hold.
Okay, you pretty much go around the planet. What you can discover from that is that what Garen said is pretty much true, is that these folk here, there's no ambivalence towards each other. They're not struggling against each other to survive. They actually work together as best they can. Um, Some of them have a bit more knowledge. There's one group that actually has a complete working computer unit. It's hooked up to an old fusion power generator that Rogers would need to sort out. And you could actually use the ship to recharge it, sort of thing. They don't
That
quite
was
understand everything about it, so they need some data on how to maintain it and keep it safe and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
That's something else I was gonna say too, because he mentioned earlier that their communication's pretty crappy. Like,
Yep.
you know,
Right.
like the thing is, if you just like, since we're making the whirlwind tour, we could like take note of who's got what and kind of take
Yep.
inventory and say, we can stick it on their little crappy computer of like who's got what, and and if we're flying around or traveling around, we can, you know, we're, we can make maps of the best like routes or what roads are still
Mm-hmm.
open or what
Mm-hmm.
blah blah.
Yep.
I mean, basically, we can just we can like help them with their at least navigate their remaining infrastructure
Yep. And make as many
and
links as possible. So
and
Tacoma has, I believe, survey. So if you can give me a survey roll, because that would help with that idea.
Right.
So
Um,
plus one, I think.
and if we can take this guy with us,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't know, whether he can or not, but oh, well, there you go.
Okay. He downloads everything.
That would be kind of swell, because it would be nice to have a good friend who will speak well of us,
Mm-hmm.
who can spend some time with us, and then at the end of the day, he will see that our cargo hold is empty, and then next time that we play, we can go rob a bank and take him with us.
Because you're good guys.
Well,
there's all these plastic chips you guys are never gonna use,
Yeah.
and we'll just hold
I
them
mean,
for you to hold
you
for
know,
you.
that's kind of always been kind of a bit of an open question
Mm-hmm.
in the Traveler universe: is how does money actually work on different planets? Is it kind of like there's an imperial credit, and then each planet has its own
Exchange.
money, and then it's got to exchange out? Is it
Yep.
all done on computer? Do you just have a little card or with a chip in it, or is there actual hard currency?
And I
Um,
think the answer to that is there's a mixture of all of that.
yeah.
And they find a
So
way to mend it all together.
what we're really looking for is,
Gold bullion.
yeah, gold bullion or something else that's exchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and honestly, we we kind of want to convince this guy that he should come with us to do this, because we want to give him some of the money to spread around, because even though it's useless to him,
Mm-hmm.
we will probably end up opening up communications between this planet and the other planets that are outside, and he may want to have something that he can use to spend.
Right. Well, he says that's really good, but doesn't see himself as a planetary leader, nor does he think that his planet's going to get on its feet that soon. So you might have to come back and talk to his grandson about that. Seems to be a very
Well,
practical man. But he says, like I said, and I don't think anyone else here on the planet would begrudge you guys to go into any of those old cities and take whatever you want, because we can't get there, and you've given us more than enough to help.
Well, that's the second time he said it, so he's really serious about it. So I mean, who are we? I mean, who are we to not?
Mm-hmm.
who are we to deny
Yeah, I mean, who are
his
we to
hospitality?
not fulfill his wishes or take
Yep.
advantage of his? I mean, he's like offering, he's saying, please, no, really, go do it. No, no, it's okay. No, really, go do it.
Yep.
Don't make me say it a third time, because then I'll have to say it like in a pissy way, and then you'll be like, well, fine, and then he'll be like, well, I didn't mean it that way, and it'll just be this whole thing.
And then you'll both end in a tiff, and that'll be it. And
Right,
the
right.
invites will,
And nobody will
that's it.
know.
And yep,
Nobody will know why we nuked the planet. We just did.
that's the one.
Um, okay. Well, and why can't they go into the cities? Because they just can't. Are they too far away? It's too hard
They're
to get
just
to,
not
or
interested.
Oh,
Yeah,
a
they're not
mixture
interested.
of
Well,
things. The cities is where most of the predators hang around.
aha,
The cities also have areas that are toxic to us, and yeah, we've decided to go far away, so it is a very long walk for us.
right.
So
Okay.
do
Well,
you guys give them the secret of cracking hydrogen and oxygen from water?
sure. Why not?
Cool, 'cause now they've got fuel. Well, they've got a car anyway that runs on hydrogen.
Yeah, I don't think we really begrudge them much of anything.
Hmm.
I mean, we tell them that, by the way, if you get outside the atmosphere, the satellites are going to shoot missiles at you. Um,
Well, he says first of all, let's just see if we can survive long enough to get up to the up there and work on that
right.
problem
Well,
when
I
we're
just
there.
want to let you know
Yeah,
that
that's all cool.
the myth of the dragon that yeah,
Hmm.
that's really true. There are a bunch of satellites up there,
Right.
and
Well, he
I
says,
presume they were automated, out of anybody's control, automated.
he says he has no knowledge of them. There's nothing in his people's history that tell him that they put them up there.
um, we could shoot them all down, but I don't know that that's really a good idea because I mean, we were actually a little nervous about shooting the one down that we did.
Or it might be
Um,
safe for a wee while to keep them up there, you're saying.
it might be.
Well, that's okay.
Um,
You know where they are. I know
Keep
what
out
they are.
keep out other people who are actual interlopers, not like us who were only
Hmm.
lightly
Yep.
yeah. Well, we did buy all this equipment that
Hmm.
we're giving away at
Well, he says
a
perhaps
pretty
consider it an investment.
right, right. No, I was just speaking out of character to the
Hmm.
party
Oh
that
yeah.
you know it was 15 tons. It's what is it, 750 credits per ton.
Yep. Yep.
So not
So
a
the yep. So the only thing that they really are left wanting, really, is if whoever comes next from you people is if they can include somebody or several somebodies who can investigate the terraforming units to see if they can be reinitiated.
oh,
Uh huh.
Because
you know we might can help with that
uh-huh.
ourselves. Um, Yeah. So, do you have an expert yourselves
No,
that we can bring along, or
no, no one really understands it. We understand some of the concepts. We know what a terraformer does. We have an idea of how it does it, but we do not know anything about the nature of the mechanics.
well, once again, you know, we can go take a look. You want to come with us?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can pass that information along.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've done a survey of the planet, so you identified where they all are.
Yeah.
Yeah, several of them have
Um,
been destroyed, so they're totally beyond. But there's at least 4 or 5 of them that are candidates that could be sorted out.
all
That would
right.
definitely
Well,
get
yeah, we
things kick-started.
we take him with us, and we'll see what we can do. We'll see
Mm-hmm.
if we can roll above a 7.
Be good.
On a huge structure like a terraformer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're huge.
Yeah.
So you get to
I,
one.
I I don't know. Is that something our engineer could maybe work on?
The engineer could. You could help. Nagan could help. Whoever else has got computers could help. It'd be a group effort,
yeah,
but you could.
Megan's that engineering one.
Yeah, and I think he's got electronics or computer or something.
I don't think so. Nope.
He's got comp
But he's
zero
got
though.
administration, he can lord over everybody. He can
Yeah,
lord over
he
everybody.
can get you to fill out their correct forms, huh? Requisition
Right.
forms. Excellent. Little touch of the
And make sure
Imperium.
they properly queue when
Yes.
things are being handed out.
I'm sorry, this has been
So,
spindled. You'll have to write it out in triplicate again.
uh, Sergeant Lance has mechanics and electronics
Cool.
1,
Okay,
and he's got
so
computers 0. So,
you make landfall at one of the ones you think could possibly be the easiest to get sorted. It's heavily overgrown. That's going to take some work. But going inside, you're first of all going to need to get in through the locked doors. So you're going to need to do an electronics roll there, someone, to see if you can get in through there.
Aha. Okay. Pick lock.
you want to do it here? Okay.
Craft.
Nope, he didn't.
Right. Okay. Well, Teddy
Yep.
has that skill.
Mm.
Let's see if we can roll good. An 8.
Okay.
He makes
So
it.
we just need to say he's had more of a nefarious history with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. You get the doors open. They obviously need a bit of help opening because they're a bit old and you know, all that sort of stuff. Internally, doesn't look too bad. Samuel can get some power to them. The interesting thing is that this one seems to be run on thermal activity. So it's just been set to vent at the moment, so it's actually not done anything for 100 years or so. So all it needs to do is just reinitiate the whole engine, and it should start working.
Right.
Unless something blows up and we've got big problems.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll need to be you'll need to be going out on the surface and just clearing everything off first with your laser weapons, which is a needed
Right.
job for all of you. So that'll just take a couple of hours to go through and clear out everything.
Okay.
Yep. In the meantime, Samuel and Samuel's will work on the electronic stuff. Who's got mech?
I've got mech. I think some other people have mech as well. I mean, I think we want to try to double up and assist where we can so
Yeah.
that we get better rolls.
Okay. So who's got electronics apart from Samuel?
Lance has electronics. Let's see what Tiberius has. Tiberius Tacoma has computer too,
So
so that's pretty useful.
yeah, and Devon's got computers, so that's where they need to be. Getting ready to
I don't
start
know if
rebooting.
Dane's medical skill will come into play at all, but
Not really,
let's
unless
see,
he's got
what else
other
does he
skills.
have? Yeah, not really.
No.
The rest of it's kind of combat skill.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
What
he's
about
out there
what about
cleaning out the crap. So you got Devon and
what about
Tacoma getting ready on the computers. Yep, you go. Megan
Devin have?
has no electronic. He has engineering, which is not really called for here at the moment.
No.
He's got no mechanical. He's out there firing away, clearing stuff. Him and Dane.
Yeah, I got
Right.
a
Okay,
laser.
so those two are
With the
cleaning up stuff.
laser.
Will, what's Will got?
Is that?
Will.
Let's see. What to um let's see, main skill, well, laser.
Yeah.
That's handy for clearing the brush. Mechanical
So we're
one, computer
yeah.
one, electronics one. Or sorry, no, my computer's only 0.
Okay,
Communications
mechanical.
1.
Okay, so you
Mechanical.
and Samuel will be working through all the mechanical stuff. And then, while others are clearing it, and then I think it's Negan and I forget, Negan doesn't. Who else has mechanic? Is it just
Lance.
Lance
Lance.
and Samuel? So Lance and Samuel then go in to do the no, the electronic stuff is what I'm talking about. Sorry.
Okay, well, I tell you what, let's do the computer stuff. We know,
Well, you need okay.
know
First
that.
of all, you need to clear away the stuff, get the mechanical stuff ready, get the electronic stuff ready, and then you pick up the computers. So
All right,
everyone's clearing away shit. That's easy. Who's got mechanics?
all right, all right. Lance has mechanics. Does anybody else have mechanics?
Samuel.
All right,
Samuel
I've got a
has
mechanics. I've
yep
got a mechanic 1. What does Samuel's
one.
have?
So that's all good.
All
So
right,
you're both one.
so
So who's
you
got
want to?
Samuel?
Who's got Samuel's? I think.
I do, yes.
Give him a roll,
All
please,
right,
at a plus
roll
one.
for Samuel's mechanical.
Yeah, so I just gotta look up what that is.
Yep.
+1.
Yep. Just
Direct.
plus one.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
Okay.
This will be another montagey thing.
Right.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
It's a plus
So
one on what you're going to do next.
which is good.
9. Okay, so as far as they're concerned, the mechanics of the unit are ready to go. So now you move up to the electronics, which is Samuel's again with a plus 1. And who else has got electronics? Is it you, Will?
Yeah, well, so let's try Samuel first.
Yep. Oh yes, plus
Good,
1.
good.
Yep.
And mine.
Yep. So you
So
get a
add
plus
another
2.
+1.
Oops. Well, okay, it's still
7.
under Samuel's banner, but it was me.
Yep. Okay, radio. So
What's his electronic skill? Just 1, so that
1.
would be a 6 up to a 7.
Yep. And it's a 7.
No,
So
the one's added in here.
yeah,
notice.
but then a plus 1 from Samuel's
+1, right?
supporting. Yeah. Is there anyone else who has electronic that can
Yes.
support? Yeah. Who is it? There's your other plus 1. Okay, so the 3 of you muck in and get the electronics. Now it's up to Tacoma, who's I think got a computer 2, and Devon who's got computer 2. So one of
Devin
them.
has computer. Yes, they both have computer 2. Well,
Yep.
Devin's got computer 2.
So he rolls to
And
support
Tacoma.
Tacoma. Tacoma's got 2.
He does. You're
Yep.
right.
Yep. So 1 to support the other.
All right. All right. So Devin will roll to support.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that'll
So
be +3.
plus 3
and
for Tacoma to
Tacoma's
turn the whole thing
roll,
on.
so
Okay,
13.
so I'm going to say that was a day's work. After that, guys, you have successfully initiated this system and it's rolling. The problem is, well, the good thing is, because it runs on thermal, it has its own power source, and it uses 99% of that. But they'll need a group of people trained to know how to keep this maintained.
Right. So the computer system is up and running.
Yep.
Are
Powered
there
up.
any manuals or anything on the
Yeah.
computer system?
Everything's there. Yeah.
Right.
They just
So
need a group of people.
we download that information and put it on the thumb drive and hand it to them and say, "Here's everything you need to know."
Does anybody rolled like that useless skill instruction, which is actually which actually not be useless right now?
Actually, you have
Devon.
instruction
Is it
on
Devon or
Dane, I
Dane?
believe.
Okay.
I think Dane
Medic
has.
leader, tactics, pistol, recon, survival, vac suit, comp rolls.
No, he
like
doesn't. He
Is it
doesn't have.
Devon?
He has leader. He has leader.
yeah.
Devon's got
Or as a
leader.
skill.
Devon has instruction.
Instruction. Yep, Devon.
So basically,
So,
Okay. Well,
that means you can instruct them in any one of the skills you have
yeah.
up to the level of your instruction.
Which is computer, which is what they need. As well as others, but at least he can give them computer skill. But
all right.
given 6 months,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
so how about a week of
Yeah.
a crash course? This is
We,
the button you
we'll,
push to turn it off safely. This is the button you use to monitor it.
yeah, they've got manuals.
Bane's
Yeah.
doing all that.
Say that again?
No, Devon's
Devon.
doing it.
Yeah,
Devon's
yeah.
got instruction.
Okay, so give Devon a roll, please, with a +1 to see if he can give them some basic.
Oh, he rolled a 5.
Okay. Okay. Just
Yeah.
just hopefully they can get through.
Yeah, not that good.
Okay, so
Um,
yep, you spent basically now roughly a month on this planet.
sorry, the 5 is what he rolled. Those others are just
Yep,
I,
that's all cool.
I hit the button
Yep.
accidentally.
So it was about time to jump home.
Um, well, so I think next time we rob a bank.
Mm-hmm. You mean you want to rob a
Um,
bank before you leave home? For home?
right,
Oh, cool. Sweet
right,
as.
or maybe, yeah. We'll explore one of the cities and see what we can steal.
Awesome.
Um, and if our buddy wants to come with us, he is welcome to come with us. Otherwise, we'll whatever. I mean, we could go ahead and there's 4 of them close by that could be repaired. The idea is to kind of teach them how to repair it.
Hmm.
Um, I mean,
So you need a longer term team to come in and to do that, don't you?
yeah, but I think they could learn off the one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't take that long to fix them. If you wanted to just montage it, we could go through the 4 that we know are repairable and get them going. I mean, we could do that within a week or 2.
The
Right?
only problem is if there's no one to maintain them, that you have the chance that they may blow up.
Ah, okay. Well, we'll just leave the one
Yeah.
and leave it
And
for them to learn
they've
how to
got the off switch if they need it, and they know what to look for to turn it off.
right.
They got that much, so that's something.
Yeah.
And they'll have
So
to learn the
we won't
rest.
repair the other ones. We'll just
Yeah.
leave the manuals with them.
Yep.
Okay.
They keep telling us they're not stupid, so I mean, we can just fix them all and say, all right, you guys aren't stupid, so go for
Mm-hmm.
it,
Figure it out.
figure
Yep.
it out.
But still, I think it might be better for them to fix the ones that they can fix themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give them an opportunity to learn how it works, and they can build their own teams
Mm-hmm.
for maintenance. And I guess they've got to build them at different locations. So
Yep.
yeah, it'll take them some time.
But that's okay. They're on their way. Okay, so you're then going to look at various locations on the survey that Tacoma did to pick a planet. To pick a city. So if you can, I'll stop recording in a second. So basically, you guys just talk about it between now and the next game about what are the aspects of the city you want to pick, basically. So then I know which one to go for. Do you want it one that's in a plains, one near water? You want it temperate, or do you want it colder? Do you want things that you can see there's obvious, animal activity, or what? You pick out all the bits and pieces as much as possible.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll just stop the game recording, and we'll finish there for the night. It must be midnight by you, Pierre.
Yeah.
Yeah.